time to do some planning. So, nobody seems to be here yet. I'll wait a couple minutes and get some of the areas listed out, and then I can, right before we dive, I'll go over what exactly the plan for this is. Got a bit of a challenge in mind to try and test my skills, though, considering I haven't played this game in a few months. It's probably going to be a bit harder of a test than normal. Anyway, let's just... There we go. So I need to list out all the areas. Netherworld Gate. Arbor, Seeker Camp. Edge of the Abyss. Heaven's Waterfall up. Layer, slide, hall, freezing hot mines. Okay. So third layer area is listed. Fourth layer. Goblets of Giants. Out. Giant was way behind. Oh boy. Eternal Fortunes. Deep Tree Mains. What? Alright, Sea of Corpses. Sea of Corpses 1. Sea of Corpses 2. All right. So, nobody's here just yet. Just gonna wait a little bit longer. So, what we're gonna do, let's see, so the Netherworld Gate connects to Waterfall Gondola and Twin Falls, as well as going back to Orth. So, I'd say on our way down, let's do the normal route of Waterfall Gondola. Let's see, that one leads to Wind Riding Windmill, which then leads down to Multi-Layer Hill. That's a pretty quick way to hit up 5 of these areas, which would be over half, right? Like Netherworld Gate, Waterfall Gondola, Tree Fossil Abode, Wind Riding Windmill, and Multi-Layer Hill. So that would just be those middle ones. So Grand Bridge Way does connect to Twin Falls and Jumping Rock, and Jumping Rock can connect to Multi-Layer Hill as well as Stone Arc and Grand Bridgeway. We can probably hit up the rest of the middle layer areas of the first layer on the way back up, and on the way down we'll just go around the edge here from Netherworld Gate to Waterfall Gondola, Tree Fossil Abode, and then jump down to Wind Riding Windmill, and then finally Multi-Layer Hill, and that'll take us into the second layer. From there, Forest of Temptation, I think it should be a little bit more straightforward. We go Forest of Temptation, Corpse Weeper Den. This one does have connections. Inverted Arbor, that's going to be the way back up. So I'm thinking we'd hit Inverted Forest, then go to Hell's Crossing, and then after that go to Seeker Camp, and then from Seeker Camp we can go straight down to Heaven's Waterfall and the Updraft Wasteland. And what I'm thinking is we'll take the shortcut into the third layer. On the way back up, we can go up via Heaven's Waterfall from the third layer, and then from the Seeker Camp area, we can go to Edge of the Abyss, Terminal Pond from there. And then from Terminal Pond, we'll have to take the really scary hard route of going from the bottom up of Inverted Arbor, which that's going to be a bit of a nightmare because of all the giant hammer beaks, but I'm sure we can manage. So from Updraft Wasteland, we're actually going to get like halfway down into the third layer right off the bat. We'll probably be very quick on the way down, just cold heat layer, straight to glass layer, straight to freezing hot mines. And then on the way back up, we can go Rock Slide Hall to go, and then go up to Quadruple Pit. And there's actually some moved areas that I haven't even gotten yet in there because there's so many. Rock Slide Hall, let's see, Trap Pirate Ship. And that one can connect to Hexagon Pillars, so we can kind of get Trap Pirate Ship and Hexagon Pillars along the way, and then get Great Fault. We'll exit up through there. In the fourth layer, we'll start at Goblet of Giants, and I've been thinking about this a lot. I'm thinking maybe we could go Nanachi's Hideout to get to Hidden Hot Spring, and then from there get to Crystal Valley. If I'm correct, then let's see, Floating Rocks is up there. So we could go down Crystal Valley to get to Eternal Fortunes and then Deep Tree Remains. And then on the way back up, we'll go from Eternal Fortunes, up to maybe Floating Rocks. Let's see, Crystal Valley, Shine. We can get Floating Rocks on the way back up. We might have to do a little loop through it, but I think that one can be another one on the way up instead of the way down. And then finally, the fifth layer is going to be a little weird because of how big it is. I'm thinking maybe we'll go the Sea of Corpses 2 route, followed by Eternal Garden, and end it then at Hail Jail, which should get us to Water Crystals 1. And Water Crystals 1 can get to Ido Front area. It gets really weird in the fifth layer, but we're going to be going down and up there quite a lot. So I think down here, it's just a matter of making sure to hit every area. You can get all the way down to the altar, but not trigger the ending cutscene or anything. So that seems like it should work. I still have no idea what this door over here is about. There's just a weird door that's way off to the edge of this area. I don't know if it's like a bug or what. Part of me wonders like if somebody's managed to hack the game and get over there and find out what this is, because I mean, it's very mysterious, but there's nothing out there, so I don't really know what it's about. Anyway, I should probably start getting my stuff together. There's only like 5 minutes till the dive, and I have been dilly-dallying quite a lot. So, got a bow, I've got some good equipment. Let's see. I don't want to carry too much stuff. I'll carry a bunch of rope. Let me get rid of one rope, so I only have 5. That does take up quite a lot of space. Let's see. Got all my equipment and stuff. Let me get... There's going to be plenty of mail balloons out in the world. I don't think I'm going to need too many of those. I want to pack light, because one of the goals of this challenge is to get one of every relic material and one of every sunstone, and there's a lot of those, and they can get pretty heavy, especially down in the deeper layers. So, let's see. I think this should be fine. Ugh, all this... Yeah. This should be pretty much fine. Decent lightweight gear. I've got a fair few poison arrows. I'm not going to be going for any big creatures, so hopefully I won't have to even use these too much. Got enough hatchets. And because I have all the double harvest upgrades, it should get me plenty of materials to just resupply on food and other important gear. Yeah, I think this should be fine. We've got a ton of backpack space, so... Let's see... I believe we should be just about ready to go. Only a few more minutes. Let me just save real quick. Head to Orth. So yep, we'll be starting way up at the top. We got to get all the way down to the bottom and back up again without fast travel. Along the way, we're going to be hitting every area in the game, so that way we can I can refresh on all of them before the tier list. And following that will be the... I mean, in addition to that, in addition to hitting every area, also got to pick up one of every sunstone and one of every relic material. The sunstone part should be easy. I don't know if I'll actually succeed in getting one of every relic material, though. That might take some time, and if it's getting a bit too long, I can probably just forgo that aspect of this little challenge. Okay. Let me add something in the chat to explain what's going on to anyone who's joining later. Alright, that should briefly summarize what the challenge is. Alright, it's 11:59, about a minute. We'll be heading down into the abyss. Ready? I haven't played this in a while. Hopefully I don't mess anything up. I know there's some pretty crazy death scenes. I'm gonna try to avoid that and not die, but there's no promises because even one little slip up can mean your doom in this pit. Alright. And embark. Let's go. Alright. Here we are. The wonderful abyss. Alright, let's get a move on. I don't want to spend too much time goofing around here. Ooh. Right off the bat, I'm hearing something good here. So this area is a pretty nice starting spot. There's a decent number of these little cliffs and stuff. Ooh. Already got 2 of the relic materials I need to look for. I like this little upper area here that you can climb up onto. It's pretty nice. Oh, hold on a sec. Nope. Okay. Yeah, looks like there might be another... Ooh, I do hear something. Where is that? Ooh, right there. Alright. I see a rope plant, but I don't need that right now. Let's grab this. Alright, I think that's all 3 of the rare relic materials for here, so now all I need to do is get a sunstone from the first layer. Let's just grab some extra tail meat before we head out. Gotta make sure you get plenty of food. Notice there's a lot of lag between now and what's actually streaming on YouTube, so that might cause some weirdness. Don't want to gather too much stuff. There's some real nice qualities of being a white whistle, but this whole super fast climbing thing can be a bit of a double-edged sword. You don't want to climb too fast because then you'll get hit by the curse of the abyss, and that would not be good. Lots of mentors there. Alright. Next stop, Waterfall Gondola. Alright, we're not going to be taking the gondola, because that would just take us really far down. Instead, we need to head up this hill over here, if I'm correct. Sunstone? Nope. Sunstone? Yes, Sunsphere. That's what it was. Oh no, Spidey guy. Okay. Gotta be very careful about this. This dude... Not fighting you today. Okay. Let's go to... Oh wait, that's Grand Bridgeway. I don't need to go there. I think it's further up that I need to go. Alright, here we are. And there's the curse, but if I just wait a little bit, it should go away. Jeez, the stream is like really lagging behind. It's gonna be weird communicating to chat directly because it looks like the stream is like way behind. Also really low quality too. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there's some weird stuff going on with the stream quality. Let me try to sort that out real quick. Yes. Alright, I'm gonna be making the stream go dark for a second. Gotta fix some stuff. I think that might help with some of the stream lag. Hold on real quick. Alright. See if that fixed it. It looks like the stream quality might be a little higher, but it looks like there's still a lot of lag between now and I might not be able to fix that. So responding to chat in stream might not be as feasible. I can probably try responding by typing, but that'll probably go through faster. Alright. Let's go to Tree Fossil Abode then. Alright. Lots of horn criers. Where I need to go is down there, I think. Yep. These guys give me hard meat. So they're actually pretty good. Sweet. Oh wait, that's just beast meat. The hard meat's later. Okay. Wind Riding Windmill. Almost done with the first layer. This one's the easy part. Alright. So Tree Fossil Abode is pretty nice, but yeah, it's got a slightly different aesthetic to some of the other areas because of how much stuff there is around you and all the tree fossils, I guess. Uh-oh. This area is nice, but a little disappointing that you can't actually go into the Wind Riding Windmills. I really would have hoped you could, like, actually get into them, but that's too bad. Let me check the map real quick. Yeah. This area is kind of small, actually, now that I think about it. Don't need that. I mean, there's a little, like, pond back this way, but I need to start spending a little more time in these areas and not rushing through them so quickly, because I gotta remember what they all look like for the tier list. This pond back here is kind of nice. I think you can sometimes get the giant enemy crabs to spawn there, but otherwise, this area is pretty small, honestly. Ooh. Uh-oh. Ran out of stamina. Alright, now we're gonna take this gondola deeper into the depths. Ooh. Oh, that's a pretty nice view, though. That's pretty cool. Just don't fall off the edge there. Alright. Let's head to Multi-Layer Hill. Deepest part of the first layer. Already starting to get hungry, too. Alright. You've got some more of what looks like those petrified trees here, too, interestingly. There's an area way up there that takes you to Jumping Rock. Kind of see the bits of the abyss way up in the sky. And no, I'm not going for the rare relics, because I've already got all the relics I need here, I think. I can check my inventory right before heading into the second. Hold on, I'm recording, right? Let me double check just to be sure. Yep. Okay, that's good. Alright. Oh, gotta be careful about that. That stuff right there is nasty. Trigger it? Yeah, I don't want to get stuck in that. Okay. Come on. There we go. Gotta be very careful. Those things pop up in the second layer a bit too. Alright, let's just check. Need to make sure I've got all of the stuff that I need from this layer. So, I'm gonna correct 1, 2, 3 different rare relic materials and the sunstone. Let me just discard some of my duplicates because I do not need them. Oh, what? No! Oh, gotta go back now. I accidentally discarded both the sun spheres. I keep getting that wrong. Okay. Just discard the one. Alright. Well, that was the first layer. Not really much going on here, though. This place is pretty tame, all things considered. But second layer, this is where things get interesting. Alright, here we are. Forest of Temptation. This area is pretty neat. It's got a unique visual aesthetic to it, but it's also very tricky in that you think, oh, this is going to be easy. It's very flat, so you don't have to worry about the curse getting you from ascending too much. But no. The area is filled with all these little, like, bumps and ridges, and these things will cause you to slowly accumulate the curse as you run over them, so... Yeah, areas like this are real nasty and tricky. Like, they make you feel like you're all safe, but you're not. Gotta be extra careful to make sure that you don't... Didn't run into it too much there, but it has been an issue in the past. And I ran out of stamina again. I'm being very careless. Alright. Foxbone and Mushroom Ball. So that's 2. I think each layer has about 3 or 4. Yeah. The deeper layers have like 4 because they have the Ivy badge that appears in all of the 3 deepest layers, but the upper 2 only have like 3 uncommon relic materials each. And then their Sun Sphere. Ow. I just ran right into that guy. There's a relic thing over here. Corpse Sweeper Den's pretty cool too. It kind of continues some of that aesthetic from the previous area, but with a different color palette. I do like how you can kind of see the bridge from the previous area into this one. And then you get an area that's kind of reminiscent of the first layer, but a lot greener with moss everywhere. One interesting quirk about this game, pretty much every creature has a designated area that they patrol. As long as you stay out of that, they won't attack you. And if you leave that area, they'll also stop attacking you. What the heck? Okay, that was weird. So if I go over by the waterfall over here, I'm not going to worry about fishing, but... Alright. Ran out of stamina again. I haven't played this game in a while. I keep forgetting that you need to keep watching your stamina bar. Let's see. I'll go over to here. I should probably keep track of which ones I've been to. Netherworld Gate, Waterfall, Gondola, Tree Fossil Abode, Windriding Windmills, Multi-Layer Hill, Forest of Temptation, and Corpse Sweeper Den. Alright. Let me just check. I haven't gotten this... Oh, wait. Yeah, I have gotten the second layer Sun Sphere. And I've gotten 2 of the 3 relic materials for this place. I think there's one more that I still haven't gotten yet. Let me try to get it from some of these. Uh-oh. Gotta replenish some hunger. Ah, great. It's one of those... Okay. Sometimes the climbing can be a little finicky in this game. Nope, those are the ones I already have. This one, maybe? Hold T. There it is. Alright. That's all the stuff. You can actually go up and climb around on those things over there, but I'm not going to bother with that. Our goal right now is to get deeper into the second, and that means going to the inverted forest. This is like the staple area of the second layer. Oh, there's one of the giant enemy crabs. Okay. There's another entrance over there that's kind of a shortcut, I guess, but it requires you to use an extra rope. I don't really feel like doing that. So let's head down. Gotta be very careful. Honestly, it kind of is crazy that people were able to, like, explore this inverted forest of how it's set up. This is, like, actually kind of a nightmare place. I mean, the whole Abyss is a nightmare place, but I've seen people talk about how if they were a cave raider, they'd probably nope out of the Abyss at the 3rd layer, but honestly, I'd probably do it at this place. This is... I don't think I could see myself going across the inverted forest. It looks absolutely dreadful. One false move and you're just plummeting. Okay. Whoa. Yep, gotta be very careful. This area is going to be a little slower than some of the others since it's kind of very linear. Requires you to do a lot of going up and down along these tree bridges. Avoid the little spike guys. Oh, cool, a rope plant. These are good. Now that I got the double harvest upgrade, each of those plants gives me enough fibers to make my own, make a single rope. Before, I need to get like 2 of those plants just to make a rope, so now I don't really have to worry about running out of rope anymore. Oh great, the monkeys. Gotta watch out for those guys. They're not like super huge threat, but they do like to throw stuff at you and it can be kind of annoying. Ooh. That was a really loud noise. Okay. Gotta use a rope here. And descend one last time, and I think that's the last of the rope climbing sections. I know back when I was first exploring this part of the 2nd layer, it was particularly nasty, but now that I'm able to get lots of rope and I've gone through here a lot, it's not too bad. 3rd layer is way worse. Yeah, this area is pretty nice. I will say that coming to this area, like, it's where you can kind of clearly see how this game kind of looks like an upscaled Wii game at times, but with a very low poly environments. Especially with some of the background details, but I don't know. It's still kind of nice. And it's neat to be able to explore parts of the Abyss, even if it doesn't look like super fancy, uber ultra graphics. Alright, time for Hell's Crossing. This area is like Inverted Forest, but slightly less annoying, and has a really cool part near the middle, too. Alright, harvest that. Ooh. I'm kind of running through here, but let's craft some rope real quick. Self-made rope weighs less than the rhombus thorn plants on their own, so it's always a good idea to craft up the rope when you can. Alright. And here we have one of the bounce leaves. Kind of nasty of them to like put these bouncing leaves into the abyss where you're not really supposed to go up. But I've got to watch out for these things. Oh, I should climb down. Ow! Stop hitting me. Okay. Ah! Run. That stuff explodes. Yep. Let me go up this way. Oh. Gotta wait a little bit. Oh no, it's gonna blow up on me. Ow. Well, at least it doesn't knock you off the side. That would be dreadful. Okay. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Those guys are nasty. Especially here. Get wrecked. I am not dealing with that right now. Okay. We're nearing the midway point. I think you need to throw up a rope here. And then descend. Alright. It's kind of cool with all like the inverted waterfalls too. Wind just pushing water straight up. So one of the cool features of Hell's Crossing is there's this giant like log that runs beneath the whole area, and I've actually gone down to it. You can go down to that log that runs across the length of it. Let's see. Like that thing right there. You can walk along the bottom of it. It's pretty cool. Alright, I think I need to cross over to here and then just keep going straight, and that should get me to Seeker Camp. Okay, that just takes me down. Okay, there's where I need to go. Go over to here. Bounce. Oh! Man, I'm losing hunger really fast. I think it's because I've got one of the 1,000-man wedges on me. Those things cause you to lose hunger faster, but give you an insane attack boost in exchange. Can't imagine what putting any more of them on would be like. I mean, for a boss fight it'd be great, but just exploring the abyss would probably be a nightmare, constantly having to eat over and over again as your hunger is drained. Alright. We're nearing the Seeker Camp. Oh, no, 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 no. Fast. Oh. Ah. You gotta be real careful around those guys, because they will blast you right off those. Ah, there's another one right there. Seriously, these guys are like... It's a good thing I can take them out in one hit. I think some of the third layers ones do take a couple hits to beat, though. Alright, this... Seeker Camp. Perfect. Maybe we'll go and say hi to Ozen. This place isn't too terribly dangerous. There are some giant hammer beaks, but not nearly as many as there are in Inverted Arbor. That place is just a giant hammer beak infested. It's... Ugh. I'm not looking forward to having to climb up there later. Okay. Just watch out for the little spiky guys. I really hope I'm actually getting audio through. For all I know, there could be like some kind of a fatal error right now and none of my voice is going through and I have no idea about it. This is very much a slapdash thing. Alright, let's take a break at the Seeker Camp real quick. Sadly, it doesn't like heal you or anything. Let's say hi to Marluke real quick. Thank you. Now let's go. I'd go see Ozen, but I'm worried that she's gonna challenge me to another fight, so yeah, let's not do that. I've not prepared for a big boss fight right now, and I don't know if you can rematch Ozen, and I'm not gonna find out. We've got a mission. Okay. So I think our route should be down there, yeah. That will take us to Heaven's Waterfall. So yeah, Seeker Camp, pretty nice area. Not too much going on outside of the Seeker Camp itself, but... Alright, here we are. This area is weird because it's just like a perfect rectangular shape. It's just this very gradual slope, but it is enough of a slope to cause you to get hit by the curse multiple times. I'm gonna avoid the center because... Ah! These guys! No. I do not have time for you right now. Yeah, get poison arrows. Ow. You... Stop. Got him. Okay, just this guy with the gun left. This is... I do not have time for this nonsense. Oh, hey. I guess I'll take this. I'll probably have to discard some of that stuff later if my backpack fills up. I was worried that was gonna happen. Always gotta watch out for those rival cave raider gangs. Alright, we're not actually... Oh, there's Crab Guy. We aren't going to be going down that hole there. That's like the main entrance to the third layer, but there's one last area we're going to be going to first in the second layer, and that's like a shortcut that gets you halfway down into the third layer. And there it is. The Great Fault. A layer that's just like multiple kilometers of vertical shaft straight down. Honestly, this is probably one of the most terrifying layers just by the geog. Oh, I almost fell. Huh. You can actually go all the way down there. It just takes you to the opening area of the third layer, though. There's really not much of a point in going all the way down there. Kind of wish it took you like deeper in the third layer, something that was like a cool reason to go down there, but it doesn't. Anyway, Updraft Wasteland. It's like Heaven's Waterfall, but it's throwing a temper tantrum. Alright. So our secret cool shortcut area should be around here. Gotta watch out for that guy. That right there is a Crimson Splitjaw, I think? A really nasty giant flying snake creature will gobble you up. Do not engage. Okay, here's some frog dudes, but not gonna worry about them. Where is the end? Ah, it's down there. And I gotta go past the Splitjaw. Okay, I'm gonna go around this way. I do not want to get into a fight with that thing. I don't think I've ever actually fought one in this game, and at this point, I do think I'm strong enough to do so, but for this particular challenge, the key is to not get into fights with giant creatures that will probably kill you, so I'm not doing a one-hit challenge or anything. Let me turn down the music, it's a little loud. There. The sounds are a little loud in my ears. I don't think it's that loud on the actual stream, but at least for me, my headphones are like blasting it really loud. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Every time that music starts, it's like, oh no, oh no. Big monster. Okay. Time to descend. We're about to enter the third layer. And this is kind of one of the weirdest. They didn't really show much of it in the actual show, so let me just double check, make sure that we got all the stuff that we need for this layer. We've got the Sun Sphere, and we've got actually multiple of some of these. So I'm going to discard some of the extras, but I do think that is all of the basic relic materials from this layer. So first and second layer, all of our collection stuff is complete. It's time to head to the Cold Heat layer of the third layer. That's a mouthful. Alright, here we are. Oh, there's a mountain spinner. I'm just gonna go right past you, Mr. Turtle Dude. Oh. It is very dark in here. I need to turn on my headlamp. Third layer has some of the darkest spots in the game. Just these pitch black caves that you'll find yourself in. And then stuff like this. Yeah, this was not in the manga or the anime. They just decided to throw in volcanoes in the third layer. Honestly, it's pretty cool. But there's some parts later that look like they came straight out of Super Mario Galaxy. It's really weird. I kind of like it because of how weird it is, but still, like, I'm not really sure why, but like, this layer is just the fire and ice zone. We gotta be very careful. Watch out for the falling boulders. Oh, oh, watch out. Ow. Whoa, what the heck happened here? Why are the boulders getting all knocked off course? That is not normal. Okay, oh, no, 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 please don't hurt me. Ah! I don't know what's going on with those boulders, but they are not acting normal. Okay, getting a bunch of offerings. I need to, just forgetting I gotta do some harvesting of this area. Oh boy, mountain spinners. I'm also starting to run low on my meat, but I do believe there should be some hard meat sources in the fourth layer that are pretty good. Until then, I can probably try killing some other creatures around here. Get some food. Okay, that's 2 of the relic materials that I need. I need to also be careful and make sure the deeper we go and the more stuff I collect, I'm going to need to make sure that the bag doesn't fill up. Because if I'm climbing and my backpack fills up, I'm just going to fall straight on my face. And that would not be good. Okay. Yeah, you see stuff like this. We've got a bunch of fire stuff, and then right next to it, it's just like icy cave. It's very wacky. Okay. So I have 2 of the relic materials here that I know of. I need to get Offering and Stress Ball, which I've got. There's also Tangled Fluid, which is rarer, but that one I need to get. And then I need to get an Ivy Badge, but the Ivy Badge is very common, and it appears in like the 3rd, 4th, and 5th layer. It's honestly a little annoying when you're in the... Oh, almost got hit by the curse there. Oh, that was a close one. Hey, Tangled Fluid. Just what I was looking for. Ivy Badge. I've got everything else, so I'm not going to bother harvesting anymore from the 3rd layer. Let me just take a breathe. Oh, geez, it's one of the bugs. Oh, these bugs are annoying. They have this system in the game where the longer you spend in an area, the more weak enemies start showing up to... Oh, no. Okay, I'm climbing down. No, I don't need this. Like, they'll start randomly spawning in weak enemies to start messing with you the longer you spend in an area. And those bugs are pretty annoying. They're slow, but pretty tough. The weasels of the upper areas, I mean, they can be annoying too, but they're easier to deal with. But, yeah, I think the bugs are probably my least favorite. The 5th layer's got some too, but they're honestly not very dangerous at all. Anyway, this area is pretty cool. If I look at the map, it literally looks like some kind of Zelda dungeon. Like, it's just this linear track through a bunch of challenges. And this part coming up here especially, like, it's literally just a Zelda dungeon thing. Just watch this. Okay. Push. And then the big fireball crashes through. Okay, I've got to be very careful. Let's run, because there's another fireball on its way behind this one, and I don't want to get crushed. Thankfully, they move even slower than you do, so... There's like all these pockets that you're supposed to hide in, but I never really need to use them because you run so fast. Anyway, oh jeez. Ow! Ow! They can attack you from front and behind. It's really... Ugh. Anyway, watch out for the mountain spinners. Not gonna bother with you guys. Alright, glass layer. This place is cool. It's kind of weird how a bunch of the 3rd layer stuff is named layer. It might confuse things a little. This area is just a giant vertical pit with a spiraling pathway around the edge of it. It's pretty dark and moody, but it's aesthetic, like, I think textures-wise and stuff, it uses the same stuff as a lot of the other 3rd layer caves, but the lighting makes it look a little bit greener, I think. Also, we're getting one of the jam tracks. Like this, the soundtrack in this game is pretty good. Let me craft some more rope, and I think I'll have enough for now. What the? I got a new item in the notebook? Since when? Oh, this. Huh. Fascinating. I could use... Oh, no, I don't have any pittons on me right now, so I can't hammer in there, but... Oh, well. Whoa! That was close. Sorry, pal, not today. Whoa, that was a close one. And I'm gonna blow this. Blam. Oh, there's one of the ancient crabs, I think. Tachinaka ancestor? Tachikanata. Tachikanata, that's what it is. Oh. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that guy. There's some weird thing with like a giant glass platform there, and I think there's like some kind of puzzle surrounding it, but I'm not really gonna worry about that. Gonna take a drink real quick. Slayer's also got a Crimson Splitjaw Den. I'm not going in there. There is a cool puzzle that lets you like take it out instantly, but I'm not brave enough to try that right now. Okay. Next, throw a rope here. I think the butterflies are also pretty annoying too. They'll spawn in and attack you while you're climbing, and yeah, it can get pretty annoying having them constantly pestering you, but what are you gonna do? Alright, so next spot I need to get is over there, so what I need to do is go down here, push this thing over to the side, then I can just run up onto here. Oh. You can hear all the click-clack of the bugs running around. Stamina's pretty much full now. Thankfully, I got all the relic materials early, so I don't have to worry about getting more of those. So now, I go under here, over, climb up on top of this, and then do another little push thing here. The third layer seems to be what introduces all these, like, puzzle elements, and the fourth layer has even more of them, but the fifth has a few too. Oh, hey, these guys. These guys are kind of cute. There is a special circumstance where they will start attacking you, because of course they will, but sadly, I need food. And these guys are like one of the best sources of it in this layer. I could also go for shroom bear meat in the fourth layer, but that stuff's harder to cook, and I'm not bothered with that. So let's make some grub. Right. At least I've got a little bit of food to help me keep me over. I'm gonna do a whole lot of food restocking in the fifth layer because there's some pretty great sources of food in there. But now it's time to head to the final area of the third layer, freezing hot mines. This one's kind of crazy. I kind of like this area. It's all over the place. You start out in this bit, lots of really claustrophobic caves filled with ponds and stuff. You could do some fishing here. But there's a lot of these portions where, like, you have to crouch down and, like, crawl through these little bits of space with all this water everywhere. I've always loved, like, interesting terrain design and level design in games. And this area has a lot of that. Like, lots of really cool bits where you can, like, crawl around and you have to, like, go under the water and stuff to get under these places. Let's see, there's this little drop here. Thankfully, you can't fall into the water here, but there are some spots later that you can, and it's not very pleasant. Let's see. We've got to crawl over to here. Spot. I could see people probably getting lost here because of just how dense it is and really dark, too. It's a good thing they give you a headlamp, like... Oh, there's some weird glitches you can do, too, if you try, like... They might have patched it, but there was a glitch you could do where you could crawl around and your legs would start spinning like helicopter blades. They'd be completely broken. It was... I don't know if I can get it to happen again. It was really weird. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can get it to happen here. I don't know if they patched it out yet or not, but... That was pretty funny when it would happen. Like, your legs were just it was like your legs were spaghetti noodles. Anyway, yeah, here's the main part. Giant lava pit with lots of rocks hanging over it. Really cool looking, honestly. Also pretty dangerous. Ow. Stop. What do you got? Just that. Animal bones are definitely useful because they're one of the core ingredients of basic weapons and tools. Oh, that guy. No, I almost forgot about that guy. Oh, that one's a nasty one right there. Completely forget about him. Oh, no, my thing isn't selected. Okay. Not taking any chances. Ooh. Yeah, this particular area has some of those dudes, and they are put in some really mean spots. Oh, boy. Okay. I think I need to go down to here. Yeah. Go over to here. Don't mess with the weird little gecko guys. Be careful. Okay, there's not one of those bugs here, is there? Okay, thank goodness. Oh, but a lot of the geckos. And they will attack you. Thankfully, they don't do much damage. Alright, starting to get hungry again. Let me just eat up the last of that meat, and then... Let me set this to my... Oof. Yeah, I'm not doing too good on food. Let's just try to get to the 5th layer, because even in the lower parts of the 4th layer, there's a specific kind of creature called a Kudara that gives you hard meat, which is the best, one of the better kinds of meat that you can cook for. Oh no! I'm just gonna load the autosave. I won't force you to watch the death scenes. Okay. That didn't happen. Nothing went wrong. Everything's going A-okay. I mean, I don't think the lava death scene's that bad, but still, I don't want to watch my little guy meet an untimely fate if I don't have to. This area is pretty safe, all things considered. It's the latter part that's really dangerous. Something like that was bound to happen. And I gotta get past the stupid bug again. This backpack is huge. I don't know how this kid is carrying a backpack this big. I mean, I know I carry heavy backpacks sometimes, but this is ridiculous. This thing can carry, like, this kid can carry up to 25 kilograms. Which I'm pretty sure is quite a lot. Not sure exactly how much, but I think it's a lot. I mean, maybe not. In fact, 25 kilograms might not actually be that big, but... Okay, there's Bugman. I'm gonna set him off. Wait for him to go past. And get him from behind. We will not be doing that today, sir. Alright. Doesn't look like anyone's watching, but that's fine. I'll have this recorded and uploaded as like a stream video or something. No bugs, please. Thank you. I don't know if bugs can spawn on that one, but... Alright, you go down, and then you have to go down here. Ugh, I can already hear the big pincher beetle things walking around. Okay. This time, I'm gonna take it nice and slow. Oh, there you are. Don't touch me, please. No touchy. Okay, here we are. This is a weird part of this area. Alright, this is the part that literally feels like it came straight out of Mario Galaxy. I think it was like the Shiverburn Galaxy. But you got this thing here, frozen icy area with just lava pouring out of it. Because that definitely makes sense. And then this is the crazy part. So you go over here, right? And what is this? It's like giant magma chamber, and then this like platform of ice in the middle of it. This is actually where a boss fight was, and it's kind of crazy looking, not gonna lie. I kind of like it, but yeah. Anyway, that's the 3rd layer. We check in our inventory here. I think we should have all of the 3rd layer's stuff. We've got a couple of sun spheres, which I can discard one of them because we don't need extra. Got a couple of those. There is still the Ivy badge, but because that spawns in like 3 different layers, it's gonna show up eventually. Discard a couple of these. Alright, yeah. I think that just about does it for the 3rd layer. So, it's time to go on to the Goblets of Giants. Let's go. Already getting pretty far down. Oh, hey! I didn't even use up my food that time. Alright, let's try to see if I can get a sun sphere right here. Nope. There's the little shroom bears. Sadly, their meat is not the most appetizing, so you can't make good stuff. So, this area is interesting. It has different forms and stuff, and I've noticed some of the deeper layers will do that, where they'll randomize some of the areas. Ooh, getting some good stuff right off the bat. We could go down the water slide, but there's no reason to do that because right now I'm thinking we're going to go Nanachi's hideout, which is a bit of a shortcut. The way to unlock it is really weird, but it does act as a good shortcut, so yeah. I'll give us a good view of what... I'll give you all a good view, because this place is kind of cool. It's like all these giant mushroom things called flat creepers, and they build up water on top that spills out over the edges. This layer is very moist and wet. It's like a big swamp or something. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We're going to be heading back up this layer from this area from the bottom. But I'd say this area is pretty cool. It is a little weird how like it'll have different versions and stuff. And the version that we're in right now is what it takes when there's like a major side quest here. But then there's other versions as well where the layout's a little different and there's no water slide. It's also the only place that has a water slide in this game, I think. Alright, I think we already got the sun sphere here. Yeah, we did. Alright, we also got the Ferris sphere. We got 2 Ivy badges now. Yeah, this is where they start popping up a lot. And a Shatter Pot. I think there's one more rare relic here. I think it's a grade 1, in fact. So we gotta keep a lookout for that. Nope, just another one of those. And here's Nanatu's hideout. This area is kind of a secret area. The way to unlock it is very dumb. I didn't unlock it until I'd beaten pretty much everything else in the game. But as an area, it's pretty neat. It's pretty safe, all things considered, and I don't even think you can get affected by the curse here. There's like some ores down there, but let's go say hi to Nanachi. Uh-oh. Okay, she didn't ask for anything. Okay. I think there's like, you can give her food and then she'll give you items and stuff based on what kind of food you give her, but I'm not really able to do that right now. I kind of need my food. Anyway, you can go out the back and just explore the garden a bit, do some fishing. It's really pleasant, and it's a very nice shortcut because the other main route has a very high chance of making you fight an Orb Piercer, and those things are one of the hardest monsters in this entire game. I had to kill one once for a side quest. It was not fun. It was an actual Dark Souls boss fight. It's... I mean, I guess it's technically possible to get yourself killed here if you just let the weasels destroy you, but don't see why anyone would want to do that. This place is supposed to be very peaceful. Anyway, we're going to head out the back here. Don't need to spend too much time here. There's not even really many relics to grab, so we're going to hit a hidden hot spring. Oh, hey, someone's watching. Welcome to the stream. Alright. I'm gonna use this chance to grab some extra food, actually. Because we're gonna need it. Also, I think this is where you can find the rare Mantoyers, which are just, like, very puffy ones. A lot, like, they're the fluffier... I don't really know. Didn't seem like there were any here, though. But decent way to just grab some quick food, take a quick bath in the hot spring. Let's see. I think there's a head tail right there. These guys have electricity powers, but as long as you don't stand in the water, you're fine. They're also not very hard to beat. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna fight him. Oh. Ow! Okay. Quick time event. Let's go. Got it. Sweet. Let's see, what's he gonna give me? Oh, yeah, that's good stuff. Alright, I can cook some more good food out of that. Alright, let's cook some tail meat real quick. Also make some soft cooked meat. And then... where is it? There it is. That's really good food source. I see some rare relics over here. Let's see if we can get the good one. Nope. I swear that Ivy badge relic is... it is very common, and I keep getting it when I don't want to get it. Yeah, I know, right? I think Mantoyers can give you both tail meat and soft meat. It's random what they give you. Anyway, here we are in Crystal Valley. This area is a bit crazy. Gotta be very careful here, though. Very easy to get killed because if you touch these lasers, it's insta-death. You don't want to do that, but I want to show off something here. There's a really fun little puzzle you can do. Oh, I need to get back up there, don't I? Huh. Nah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Okay. Let's head down to here. And what we're gonna do is cross over. Gotta be very careful. Haven't done this in a bit. I might mess this up. Hopefully not. I don't want to fall down. Oh, wait. Come on. Onto the platform. Here we go. This game may not be a platformer, but they didn't stop them from trying to put it in there. Alright. Just gotta carefully guide this laser without touching it. I know some of the creatures here can also touch the laser, and it can be tempting to try to get some free food from it, but yet I'd advise never try to be tempted with the lasers, because odds are you'll probably pull yourself up without wanting to and get zapped. Okay. Oh my, I'm out of food. Oh, that's not good. Okay, there we go. Didn't even notice. I'm really off my game. Alright, here we are. The bottom area. Let me just check my backpack. Where's my items? There we are. Yep, still got plenty of space. Let's see if I can get the rare relic here. I think it's the spinner one? Nope, just a shatter pot. I might have to get it on the way back up. But till then, that right there, let me pull out my telescope actually. That right there is a light eater. It's one of the sort of mini-boss creatures of this layer. It's a game original too. It's pretty cool, but you can only find 2 of them in the 4th layer. There's one here and there's one in the floating rocks area, which is a similar aesthetic to Crystal Valley. I really like the way they have that big fissure over the top. That's really cool. I think this one will probably be ranked pretty high on the tier list. But also for the puzzle that you can do here, because they've got a few like mini bosses in this game, but there's ways to cheese them, and this way is pretty neat if you just carefully guide the laser. Let me just climb up here real quick and see if I can get the thing I need from these. Excuse me. Oh, there it is. Ugly spinner. Uh-oh. It's playing the boss music. I'm gonna grab this real quick. Maybe there's some good food in it. Nope, just some more tools I don't need. And sadly, those tools take up a lot of backpack space, so as nice as it is to try to hold on to them, there we go! Instant KO. The other light eater you can find, I think, has a similar thing you can do with it. Sadly, all they give you is the basic bird drops, which are the same things that these generic bird enemies give you. So there's no rare drops or anything for taking out a light eater. It just gives you basic bird meat. That's a little disappointing. Some of the other creatures do have like unique drops and stuff. So let's see. I think the way I need to go. There's a lot of rare relics on the. How are these all rare? This is weird. Like, usually there's like a few rares and then a bunch of the common relic nodes, but apparently not here. Actually, I shouldn't be harvesting them because that's just getting me more backpack stuff. Anyway, if you're new here, you might be wondering what exactly all that purple stuff around the edge of the screen is. That is the Curse of the Abyss. The main gimmick of this world is descending into the abyss. Well, it's not easy per se. You still got to worry about all the creatures and stuff, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. But if you ever try to ascend in the abyss, you'll get hit by the curse. And the curse gets worse with each layer you go down. In the first layer, it's just like nausea and dizziness and stuff. In the second layer, it turns into like vertigo and numbness in your extremities. In the third layer, it adds on to that audio and visual hallucinations. And the fourth layer is internal hemorrhaging and bleeding from all your orifices, so you can guess why I wouldn't want to have that happen. And then the fifth layers is a complete sensory deprivation, followed by Yeah. I guess that does make sense. If you could just one-shot them, you would... Oh, nope. Okay. Anyway, I guess it makes sense that if you could just one-shot them, they wouldn't give you, like, super great drops because you could just cheese it, but... There are some other ways you can cheese hard enemies in this game, particularly with the poison arrows, so... It's not too hard if you know what you're doing and you're very patient. But yeah, the curse of the 5th layer, which we'll be getting to shortly, is the whole sensory deprivation, which can result in you not knowing if you're getting hurt or anything. Really nasty. And then finally, they have the 6th layer of the Abyss, which is considered the point of no return. The curse there is loss of humanity and or death, meaning it's impossible for humans to ascend from the 6th layer or below while still remaining human, basically. The 5th layer is like the deepest you can go, and anyone who goes beyond the 6th layer, it's considered their last dive, meaning there's no coming back for them. And then, like, beyond that, the 7th layer is just assumed to be certain doom and death and not fun, but we haven't even seen the 7th layer in the manga yet, so there's no telling what it's like down there, but yeah. And also, by loss of humanity, I mean getting Cronenberged into a flesh blob creature, which not very pleasant, though there are some exceptions in the series. There's like some interesting exceptions they have in the series, particularly like in season 2, which is like set in the 6th layer. It's actually quite interesting. Anyway, enough about that. This area, pretty small and honestly a little disappointing. The Field of Eternal Fortunes in the anime is really cool looking, this vast, bright field of flowers. Here, it's just like a tiny grotto. Also, I need to turn the volume down for myself. I can barely hear. Okay. Yeah. I mean, they did carry over the thing. When it starts playing, like, the angry music and stuff when I go into this field, that's because it's infested by amethyarine deceptors, which are these bug things from the 6th layer that escaped the 6th layer and started infesting the 4th and 5th, and I'm not even going to get into what they do to you. It's really gross and messed up, but suffice to say, they're not strong on their own, but they're definitely pretty dangerous, and you don't want to get caught in the middle of a swarm of them. Anyway, I think this might be one of my favorite areas of the 4th layer. We didn't really see anything like this in the show, but Deep Tree Remains is just this forest of giant trees that you're running along between. It's very dark, but has this really chill vibe to it. You get to see some of like the ancient ruins stuff around here, more of these really precarious platforming things that always put me on edge. Whew. Yep, this is based on the Made in Abyss manga and anime. I'd say it's my favorite anime. The animation is great. It's got incredible music by Kevin Pankin, and the story and characters are really interesting. Although it's hard for me to recommend it because it includes some really graphic and grotesque stuff. This game has some of that too, but as long as I don't die, I won't have to worry about that. But suffice to say, the show is not afraid to show you why it would be a bad idea for kids to go exploring in this giant eldritch murder hole. And it's a really great series, but it's definitely not for everyone. Oh, I need to be very careful, and I'm out of hunger. I need to be very careful here. Okay. Oh, I'm getting a little overexcited now. That right there is an orb piercer. That thing is a nightmare. Oh. I'm not going to go anywhere close to that thing because it will probably kill me in like 2 or 3 hits. Its spikes can... The spikes on its back, it can like shoot out, and they're capable of hitting through steel and will hit you with a deadly poison if they do. So you do not want to fight that thing normally. There is a side quest in this game that I had to do. Well, I didn't have to do it, but I wanted to do it. That requires you to actually fight one of those things, and it took me so many attempts to do. It felt great when I finally did it, but that was probably one of the hardest boss fights I'd have to fight in any video game, and it is pretty fitting because when that thing... Oh, no, that was close. I'm just going to shoot you with an arrow, and I'm not going to worry about you. Come on. Hit him. Got it. That was close. Did not expect that guy to be there. Okay. I think... Oh, no, wait. I got to go up. Alright, we're about to reach the 5th layer, the deepest part you can get into this game. I'm just gonna climb down here. Be pretty careful, it's a narrow climb. But yeah, Made in Abyss, great show, just... you gotta be aware that there is some very graphic body horror stuff in that show, and it can be... it is... part of the show's intent is to make you feel very uncomfortable at times, but... I mean... if you're able to get past that part of it, it is a very interesting story, and the world is just really cool. Like, just seeing the society that built up around this big hole, where everyone is, like, venturing into it despite the clear danger, and, like, seeing all these crazy adventurers just trying to dive down into this pit. Most of them probably won't make it back out alive, but they do it anyway, partly to earn money or fame, but for many of them it's just the thrill of the adventure and the wanting to see what's down at the bottom of the abyss. Anyway, we're here at the Sea of Corpses. The whole shtick of this area is it's like a very cold, icy wasteland around this giant ocean. It's like the whitest layer in the entire game. It's, I think, 10 kilometers across, which is way wider than every other part of the game, of the abyss, but it's also the shortest, which is nice, because, you know, the curse here is really nasty, but weirdly enough, this is one of the easier layers in the game. By the time you get to it, I mean, traveling between the areas, it'll take up, like, hunger and health as you travel between parts of it, and it is pretty bad when you're only a Black Whistle, but once you get to the White Whistle rank, which is the highest rank in the game, it doesn't hurt you nearly as much, and because the area is so vast and open like this in most spots, it's really easy to avoid creatures. Plus, the very generic enemy type that just spawns in randomly as you stay in the areas is just these jellyfish, and they don't even go after you. They'll only hurt you if you get near them, so they're also pretty easy to avoid. You got one of the really crazy ribbon fish things right there. Gotta be careful. I have fought those things before, but it's always been from afar using poison arrows. Eventually I discovered that with poison arrows, you can poison an enemy and then just wait for the poison to run its course, and then once it wears off, you just hit him with another poison arrow, and you can kind of just cheese most of the hard enemies in the game like that, as long as you keep your distance and stuff. Of course, then you run into the issue of running out of poison arrows, your bow breaking, so you've got to be very careful about that. Anyway, I've got to take out some more of these Kudaras because they're one of the best sources of food down here in this 5th. That's another thing, too, is that the 5th does actually have some really great food sources. Like, it has one of the best fish in the game that you can fish for, though it is a very disgusting looking fish, I'll give it that. It's very grotesque, but it's supposed to, in the lore of the series, be incredibly tasty, and you can use it to cook one of the best dishes in the game, I think. Alright. So I think we're going to be going, if I check the map, I'm going to need to start checking the map a bit more. I haven't been keeping track of what areas I've been to. So I went to Inverted Forest, Hell's Crossing, Seeker Camp, Heaven's Waterfall, and Updraft Wasteland. And in Layer 3 it was Cold Heat Layer, Glass Layer, and Freezing Hot Mines. And then in 4th layer I hit Goblet of Giants, Nanachi's Hideout, Hidden Hot Spring, Crystal Valley, Eternal Fortunes, and Deep Tree Remains. And then here I've already been to Sea of Corpses 1. So I think Sea of Corpses 2 is... oh, I was actually going the wrong way. It's actually the one that's right next to the entrance. That was dumb of me. Yeah. We're going to be hitting up some different areas on the way back up, because I want to try to go to every area in this game. Also got to keep an eye out for relics here. Thankfully, as I explore the 5th layer, I'm mostly just going to be going around left and right. Not really going in a set linear path, because I'm going to be heading back up from here anyway. Let's see. I could go for one of the head tails over there, but I think I'll pass on that. There's no use putting myself in undue risk right now. I don't need to wind up meeting with an untimely end here. Interestingly enough, when you're first playing through the Deep in Abyss campaign in this game, the 3rd layer is the hardest part. That's the part where the difficulty just spikes and you wind up with these areas, like, I skipped it on the way down, but there's areas in the 3rd layer where you have to actually climb along these sheer cliffs of the Great Fault, and there's these, like, gliding creatures called Modokajaks, I think? and they will kill you in one hit and just send you falling to your doom. And they're very hard to predict. Every time I was climbing up through the 3rd layer on my first time going through there, I would constantly use save balloons just because I knew I was going to get killed multiple times on the way up. Anyway, let me discard some of these excess items. Got to make sure that the bag is plenty of free space. Okay. It might stink getting rid of all these relic materials, but they're pretty easy to get now that I've already beaten the main story. The game technically has 2 campaigns. There's the Hello Abyss mode where you play as the characters from the show, and it plays through like the first 8 episodes, but that's considered the worst part of the game because it's not really the best adaptation of the source material. It doesn't translate well into the actual game, and it's effectively just an extended tutorial that locks away most of the game's core mechanics like weapon durability and stuff. Whereas this mode is Deep in Abyss, and it's just the free to explore mode, where you just get to be your own original character and explore the Abyss, work up the ranks, go down to the 5th layer. It has an interesting story, and the character writing is all on point. It's pretty great. I mean, the game itself is like, especially when compared to the source material, it definitely was probably a bit of a letdown for a lot of people, but I went to it with fairly low expectations and was able to enjoy it for quite a bit. Oh, great. Please don't attack me right now. Okay. These dudes have a mechanic where they can summon like shadow clones, but I've never really seen them do much. They kind of just run around trying to distract you, and they don't really do a good job of it. Alright. I think... Let me take out a few more of these guys. I want to make sure I'm well stocked on food before I continue with this expedition, because... don't want to wind up running out. That would be bad. I don't know if it's possible to soft lock. I think there is. So go to the pause mode. Yeah, there's a give up button, so I think you can actually escape the abyss if you really need to, but I've never had to rely on that, I think. I have come very close, though. I remember this one time when I was trying to ascend through the 2nd layer, and I was almost out of food, and I had to be incredibly frugal with my food usage in order to get back to the 1st, where I'd be able to fast travel out to safety. Alright, I think that should be enough. Yeah, that's a pretty solid amount of it. And then I'll go to items. Hard cooked meat. There we go. I don't think I brought my fishing rod with me, did I? No, I didn't. I could show off what that horrifying looking fish is, but nah. Oh, great. There's a few of these Eternal Fortunes fields in the 5th layer as well. The flowers are supposed to be like the icon of the Abyss. They grow in every layer and are often used as like a seasoning and stuff. But, oh, yep, there they are. Okay, not dealing with you. Alright. So those 2 layers are pretty basic, just lots of snowdrifts and stuff. Now we're getting into Eternal Garden. Let me turn on the headlamp. This area is very small. Let's see, how many of these relics do I have? I have double bell ball. I think there's 2 more grade 1 relics that I need to find here. Okay. So this area is pretty small, just a couple of interconnected caves with Eternal Fortunes fields. There's another one of the good relics. Sadly, there's a lot of Amethyrean Deceptors in them, so you have to be very careful and try not to walk right into the field where all the good relics are hidden, but they also have these beam puzzles, which I'm not really sure what they're for. I think it's to help you with the bugs, but I'm not fully sure. They're kind of just there, but... I mean, it is interesting. This is the only area in the 5th layer that has the beams. And the 4th layer only has them in a couple of its areas. Anyway, I'm not going to spend too much time here. It's pretty small and basic. And I really don't want to deal with the stupid bugs here, but yeah. We'll head through here and get to Hail Jail. One of 3 very similar icy plateau-style areas. This one has the advantage of having it hailing, so it kind of gives it a unique aesthetic, but this and the 2 sandy ice areas are pretty samey. That right there, I think that is... I forget the exact name. They're like these multi-tailed scorpion creatures that are really dangerous, but I don't think you can fight them in this game. But if you try to step on specific spots in these specific areas, the ground will crack, and if you stand on it too long, they'll burst out and just insta-kill you, so definitely got to be careful about that. So this is where it's going to get a little complicated trying to route this, but I think my goal right now should be getting to, let's see, Sandy Ice Area 1 connects to Ido Front. I want to go to Ido Front area, so I think from there I'm going to need to go to Water Crystals, which Hail Jail might actually get me pretty close. So Hail Jail goes to Water Crystals 1, so that's where I'm going to need to go. But yeah, these areas are pretty basic. You've got a basin in the middle, and then a bunch of these little things here you can climb up on, and occasionally there will be a bridge between the climb up bit and the upper ledges around the edges that's like this crab thing that kind of looks like the platforms. You can fight them, but I've never actually done it yet. I think because every time I try to hit them with my arrows, they just bounce right off, so I'm not really sure what I've got to do there for taking those guys out, but I know this game gives you quests to like hunt a specific number of basically every creature in the game. Anyway, here we're in one of the only two genuinely challenging areas of this layer. These are like the frozen skeletal water crystals holding up these giant pillars of water that make up the Sea of Corpses, and this and the other water crystals area are the only two areas where the jellyfish are a problem and where you actually have to worry about the creatures. Like I'm gonna have to, I think, use the bow and arrow on these dudes because they're kind of blocking the way. Oh hey, I got a quest complete. Oh, you get down. Alright. I've noticed that you see some bridges here. These two water crystals areas have a little bit of randomization to them. And, oh great. Well, that didn't work. It's a dead end. There's some spots where you can only come down from above because you need to put a rope up. So I guess I'll have to find another route. What other way should I take? I can get to Sandy Ice Area 1 and Eternal Garden. Or Water Crystals 1 from there. There is another Water Crystals 1 area over here. Okay. I'll try this route instead, because that one was a dead end. And I'm out of food again. I need to pay more attention to this. Alright. I think I've gotten a decent sense for where those specific areas that you're not supposed to step on are. Let me try climbing up here real quick. It sounds like there's a good relic up here. Might be the one I'm missing. I think it's the... yeah, Spiraling Heartstone. I think that's the last one I need. That should be all of the relics that I needed to collect on this mission collected. That looks like another death zone. Do not want to step on that. Alright. At some point I want to try drawing some of the creatures from this game, because they're made to business some really cool creature designs. Like, you got these weird octopus spider things, and there's like these giant seahorse dragons in the water crystals areas that you occasionally run into. Alright. Water Crystals 1. Here we go. This looks a little more promising. Got another banger soundtrack here. I'm starting to run low on arrows, but because I'm not fighting any big monsters or anything, I think I'm fine to use them for these. Okay. I'll harvest them for the fish meat too, because I could use that for more food. And limber scales are always nice for crafting certain items and stuff. I think, if I look at the map, I need to head down this way, and Ido Front area is way over there. Oh boy. This is going to be a bit of a trek. Let's curse a bit. Might have to wait a little. Let me try to get it with my... Hey, one shot. Taking these jellyfish out with melee weapons is... it's possible, and it saves arrows, but you have to be very careful because they can stun you if they zap you, so you gotta kind of time your attacks just right. Looks like the randomization hasn't worked in my favor here. There might be another way, though. This area is a little bit mazy. Yeah, I think I have to go around that way. Whoa. Checking chat every now and again. Let's go to... Be very careful. If I start running, I want to make sure I have a clear shot to where it is I'm going. discard some of my excess items real quick. I don't need the extra sun sphere. I definitely don't need these. You always got to be careful. If your backpack fills up, then you won't really be able to do much of anything. You'll kind of be stuck walking really slow. You'll fall off whatever ledge you're climbing on, so you always got to be careful to check your bag before you start mining on a ledge in case it's full, because if it does, it will not end well. Alright. Ooh, and a lot of Ivy badges, as usual. There was a fetch quest that you have to do near the end of this game, and it requires you to get like 5 of each of the rarer relics from the 5th layer, but it doesn't require any Ivy badges, and I swear I kept getting Ivy badge, Ivy badge, Ivy badge, and then I'd keep getting the rare relics I don't need, and it was this huge pain to get the ones I actually needed, made worse by the fact that my backpack capacity wasn't really making it easy for me to store all the stuff I needed, but I did manage to get it done in the end, so yeah, that probably one of the less fun parts of the game. Wait! This better not be another dead end. Doesn't look like it. I think... Yeah, I think this might get me across. Okay. Here. So where should I go from here? I think... Don't think I want to take... Maybe I can. There's a couple jellyfish in the way. Just take them out with some of my arrows. And my bow just broke. But I have another. Huh. That encounter with the enemy cave raiders earlier actually paid off. I think that might have been a pretty good bow I broke. There's an interesting durability system in this game where if you get back to the surface and your weapon's durability hasn't gone fully down, it will actually fully repair. So as long as you're very frugal with how you use your good stuff, you can have them forever. And then most of the time I'll rely on the hatchets since they're really easy to craft in bulk, and I just use those for like smaller creatures in most fights, since I don't have to worry about them breaking so much. Okay, check the map. Yeah, that route should get me to where I need to go. So climb over this. A purple jellyfish. Let's see if I can. Okay. I have to be very careful in these tiny little bridges. Oh, almost about to get hit by the curse. I'll just wait a little bit. I'd also show off the curse, but it causes you to lose a lot of your hunger, and considering how limited I am on food resources right now, I'd rather not risk it. Got this thing called a 1,000-man wedge. It's a relic that greatly increases your attack strength, but at the cost of causing your hunger to go down faster. I've only got one of them. It's possible to farm them in this game and get a whole bunch, but I can't see myself using any more than one. That sounds like it wouldn't end well. Anyway, gotta be very careful on these teeter-totters. Oh. Whoa. Didn't mean to dodge there. Whoa. Okay. Made it. Please let me get to the different area from here. Okay. Go across here. Yes, there it is. Sweet. No more water crystals 1. We've still got water crystals 2 to go through. I'll probably only explore a little bit of it though, because it's mostly the same as what this is, and this is already a stressful enough area to have to go through. Let me just craft some food right before I head out. Oh man, I'm out of salt. That's not good. Salt's like a key ingredient for cooking the basic foods. Anyway, here we are at Idofront, the sort of last bastion before the 6th layer. I think literally like not far down into the water there is the 6th layer, so yeah. Those giant purple cylinders are a little weird. In the show it's supposed to be like big columns of water, but for some reason when they translated it into the game, it just made giant purple columns. They're also more rounded than I think they'd normally be. It's very odd. Gotta be very careful here because there's a lot of crevices you can fall in. But otherwise, these areas aren't too bad. You just sort of run along these long, twisty bits. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works, I think. Technically, in the show, I don't think you can do that to get around the curse. If you ascend any amount, it's just going to get you with the curse. I think it's like 10 meters is how much you can ascend. But when they translated it into the game, I think they knew that if they constantly had you getting hit by the curse, it'd be almost impossible to actually play properly. So instead, you just have to be very slow and methodical in how you ascend. And also, traveling between areas, if you're traveling to an area that's at a higher elevation, it will cause you to take health damage, and then probably also increased hunger damage as well. But I haven't been ascending too much yet since we're on the way down, but as we go back up, I'm going to be taking some health damage traveling between areas too, and have to worry about the curse a lot more. But yeah, in the game, it's not as big of a threat. In the actual show, like, anytime the characters have to go up, it's like a big deal because they're going to be in for a really bad time, especially in the lower layers. But here, it's manageable, which is nice. I can't really see how this game would even be possible to play if the curse constantly hit you every time you tried to go up. Like, you'd constantly be losing your hunger, and then you'd run out of food, and that would not end well. There have actually been, like, characters in the show. In fact, we're about to meet a particular character right now who have tried to outwit the Abyss and find ways to circumvent, say, the 6th layer's curse, and to do so requires some very, very not good methods. Like, we're about to meet one of the big villains of the show, and thankfully he's not a villain in this game. He doesn't try to actually kill you in this game, which is nice because I don't think... Oh, what? Why can't I descend? What happened to my... heck? Okay, I'm just gonna drop down. Please don't... Oh. I don't know why. The descend button wasn't working properly. But yeah, you might think it could be possible to, like, cheese the Abyss, at least in the terms of, like, the lore of the series, but anyone who does that winds up... Oh, great, these guys. I don't know. Again, this is the second time I've had these guys come and attack me. Hey. Ow. And now I gotta take them out, because otherwise... Ow. Yeah, this happens randomly sometimes. Yeah, that's actually the reason why I definitely think the reason why the 6th layer isn't included in the game, even though technically the game released after the 2nd season of the anime aired, which is what focused on the 6th layer, is because if you had to go to the 6th layer, you would not be able to ascend at all. It wouldn't make any sense. The whole point is that you can't go up, so it would literally be like a linear dive straight down, which I could see it being like a DLC, like a post-game sort of thing where you follow your character going to the bottom, but the series seems pretty far away from actually showing what the bottom of the Abyss is like, so I can't see that happening anytime soon, but yeah, there's definitely a reason why the 6th layer isn't included in this game beyond simply the fact that it was only covered more recently in the series. Alright, here we are. I'm gonna head all the way down to the altar, but stop just before getting to the bottom there because, you know, I don't want to trigger, like, the ending cutscene that would just send me right back to the top. The whole point is I gotta climb all the way back to the surface without using any of the fast travel, which usually would make it trivial in this game. Fast travel is nice, though, because having to climb all the way back to the surface every time, well, it would make it more, like, impactful and close to what the actual source material is like. It would probably get pretty lame after all. Anyway, hi, Bondrude. Yeah. Hi. Thanks.
ラストダイブの届け出は出しておいてください。それ以外はお好きにして構いません。君にも奈落の呪いと祝福がありますように。
Yeah, bit of a shame you can't make it to the bottom. I can't wait to see what the bottom is like in the series, but I don't know how long it's going to be. They're still in the 6th layer, and there hasn't been a new chapter in over 6 months, so it's a long wait. But I mean, I'm still glad that you can get at least as far as the 5th layer. Like, honestly, I was worried that you'd only be going down like a few layers, so... But nobody knows, like, nobody knows what even the 7th layer is like so far, because they've only ever given, like, brief little clues about details of it, but never anything beyond. We've seen the 6th layer a whole lot, but nothing beyond that. It's really mysterious. And if you look at the big map of the Abyss that they made, the 7th layer on the map is just depicted as, like, this weird fleshy hole with a bunch of giant eyeballs and stuff on it. Like, I'm not sure if that's actually what it looks like or just some kind of artist interpretation, but it's definitely very, like, mysterious. Anyway, yeah. There is actually a boss fight against Bondrewd in this game, but it's more him testing you, I guess. Again, I don't want to get into any more about Bondrewd, partly for spoilers, and partly because it also gets really messed up. Like, he is definitely a villain through and through, and I am glad that I don't have to fight him any more than I did in that one boss fight against him, because, oh boy. This is a guy who will do whatever it takes to get to the bottom of the Abyss, and it is truly horrific, some of the things he's done, and I really don't want to do it. Anyway, yeah. Aside from that, this is the altar. That's the thingy there. You take it, it takes you down to the 6th layer, and there's no coming back. Not gonna walk over there though, because I think that triggers an ending cutscene, and that would just send me back to the surface afterwards, so yeah. This is about as far down as you can go. Just below me is, like, the 6th layer, where it is impossible to return while maintaining your human form. Anyway, now it's time to start the trek back up, and this is where things are going to get a little tricky. Thankfully, I've already got all the relics, so there's no, like, needing to grind or anything. I'm just going to try to hit all the areas that I didn't hit on the way down. So I've got that, that, Hail Jail, Eternal Garden, which is Water Crystals 1. Alright. Looks like there's still 3 areas in the 5th layer left to travel through. I've got to get Water Crystals 2 as well as both of the Sandy Ice areas. Let me eat some more. I don't equip the 1000-man wedge, so I don't have to worry about eating as much, but I think it does really help when dealing with some of the smaller creatures and some of those jellyfish and the water crystals to be able to take them out in one hit. Alright, so if I go to the map, so Sandy Ice areas 1 and 2, that one goes there. Interestingly enough, they don't actually connect to each other, but I can visit both of them from Idofront, so I think I'll go from Idofront to Sandy Ice Area 2, then come back here, go to Sandy Ice Area 1, and then from there, I can get to Hail Jail. The thing then is I need to figure out, though, how do I get to Water Crystals 2? Looks like I can get there from Idofront area, so what I'll do is I'll go to Sandy Ice Area 2, then go up to Idofront area and Water Crystals 2, then head back down to Idofront to go to Sandy Ice area, and then from there I'll just go up through Hail Jail again. I'm not going to explore Water Crystals 2 too much, because it's pretty much the same as Water Crystals 1. A lot of the areas in the 5th layer are just, like, duplicate copies. Yeah, it's interesting. Normally the 6th layer's curse just turns you into, like, a flesh blob, but there are technically alternative, like, effects of it in the show that they've shown. Earlier in the stream, I just visited a character who's kind of tied to that, and this whole 2nd season has, like, a lot of that, with some characters with really interesting forms, like, who were sort of changed, but not quite by the 6th layer's curse, and they took on these, like, alternate forms, and they're all, like, very different and alien, but also pretty interesting. In fact, one of such characters I've actually done a bit of art of already. But most of the time, yeah, if you ascend into 6th layer, it's not exactly going to be a pleasant experience, because if you don't die, you'll just end up a mound of flesh falling apart and stuff. And, oh no, nope, 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 nope. Please don't hurt me. Oh, I just skipped past the thing I needed to go to. Yeah, it's not a fun time. And, again, there's no telling what the curse of, like, the 7th layer and beyond is. Nobody even knows if there's layers beyond the 7th, and it's assumed that the 7th layer will just kill you if you try to ascend, but how exactly that'll happen is hard to say, and knowing how gruesome this series can get, yeah. It's a Tiberium creature. I don't think I've heard of that before. Alright. Let's get to Sandy Ice area. Keep running out of stamina. So there's the projection images. I'm just gonna grab this because, wait, why did I do that? I keep feeling tempted when I see the red sparkles and I hear that little noise. I'm like, I gotta go grab that, but I know I probably shouldn't. Anyway, Sandy Ice Area 2, not gonna spend too much time here. This is basically just like Hail Jail. There's one of the crab things that you can jump across. Let me climb up there real quick. I know, like, I forget if it's in Sandy Ice Area 1 or 2, but there's like a secret post-game boss that you can fight. It's up on one of these ledges. Has to do with, like, oh. Okay, I'm just gonna wait on top of this guy for a bit. Get real close there. Up. And let's see. Yeah, not much up here. You can just find some more, like, relic nodes that you can get. I could jump down, but I'll probably take fall damage. It won't hurt me too much, but I'll just take the safe way out. I'm trying to actually avoid doing anything reckless, which I haven't exactly done the best job of. Interestingly enough, as long as you're, like, patient and careful, the game isn't too hard. Oh, wait a minute. I just realized something. I should have brought more salt. I'm out of it, and I need it to craft most of the different food types. Let me heat up a bit. Menu. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need to be quick about this. Without salt, I can't make most of the food types in the game. I'm gonna need to get a lot of the, like, mantoyers and stuff, the creatures with tail meat, because that can be cooked without salt. So, I'm gonna head up. I'm gonna go to Water Crystals 2 really quickly. Just peek in there to check off that area. Then zoom right back to Sandy Ice Area 1 and get to Hail Jail. Sadly, I can't be getting hard meat right now because I don't think I can cook it without salt. There might be some more complex recipes that I can cook right now, but I don't know, those require a lot of other ingredients too, and I don't think I have those on me at the moment, so oof. This could get tight. If I can get back to the 4th layer and get to... oh boy. Alright. Gotta be very careful and just focus on the goal ahead, so... Water crystals too. Starting to get a little stressful, honestly. I totally messed up not bringing more salt. I should have foreseen this happening. Actually, let me check my recipe book real quick. Are there any other foods that... Okay, that one requires... Nope, don't have any of those ingredients. There's a bunch of ingredients you can only get from the surface, like salt, stick miso, spices. I think sugar can... Actually, I think spices and sugar might be acquirable from certain enemy drops, but... Yeah, there's a bunch of, like, ingredients that you have to stock up on before you go into the abyss. And I did not do that. That's unfortunate. Nope, that requires salt. Pretty much everything requires salt. Jeez. Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. So, bird eggs and tail meat. Bird eggs and tail meat are the two super basic foods. Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah. So I've got that, and I think that's about all the food I have. I'm gonna have to make it last. I think water crystals too. Yeah, it's right there. I see it ahead. Oh, fall in there. Sadly, one slight problem is there's no creatures that give you tail meat or bird eggs in the 5th layer from what I can remember. I mean, maybe the seahorse... No, those ones give you fish meat. Yeah, pretty much everything here is just like hard meat or fish meat, and that's it. And you need salt to cook that stuff. Actually, I know what I need to do. I need to go to status, clothing, 1000-man wedge. I'm gonna just... how do I... Oh, no. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'll be a little weaker, but it should reduce the amount that my hunger is consumed. Ozen in the Seeker camp, I think, has like 120 of those 1000-man wedges on her, and she has like the strength of 1,000 people. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, water crystals too. Not much to say about this one. Head back. Oh, I can't travel because I'm out of food. That's another problem. It takes a lot of food to travel between areas. Not as much as it did when I was a Black Whistle, but still a lot. Ow. Oh, almost fell down there. Wasn't paying attention. I'm glad they kind of stop your character when you're about to run off a ledge. I'd probably have died so many times if they didn't have that in there. Need to hurry up with this too, because I got to get to the Minecraft tier list. I'm going to be ranking all the areas in this game. I need this refresher of them first. Okay, that's not a big fissure. Okay. A lot of spots here that are a little... And this is the spot that for some reason I can't descend properly from, so I'm just going to sort of grab the ledge like that. And I'm out of hunger. Again. Alright. I think one of the things in this game with the fast travel is you can't fast travel out of whatever the most recent layer you've unlocked is or something, or like it's based on like what part of the game you're at. You'll be able to fast travel out of specific parts. Nope, 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 nope. Please don't attack me. Oh, that was close. All right. Sandy Ice Area 1. Or do I need to go way on the other end? Alright. Let's see. Oh, this area's got some of the spike traps in it. Huh, I forgot about that. I mean, it's pretty obvious that it's there. Some of the other areas that have those spike traps, they're a lot harder to spot, and you'll just run right into it without knowing. But that one was pretty out in the open, honestly. Then again, with all the dark spots on the ground, I guess it kind of blends in. Alright. I gotta stop doing this. Why do I keep not paying attention to my stamina? At any rate, all of the 5th layer areas have been visited, so that's good. The 5th layer is like some of the most areas out of any layer in the game. There's only a few more to go in some of the upper layers. So let's see, where is... Oh, that's right next to me. Of course. Back to Eternal Garden. Just run straight through. Don't worry about the bugs. Alright, I'm going to have to carefully duck under this wall. Please don't attack me. Yeah, it looks like there's some kind of a puzzle here that you can do, but I'm not really sure, like, of the purpose of it, per se. Alright, back up to here. And now out through the cave. That was odd. It kind of had like a weird black wall there. Uh-oh. Run! Okay. That was close. Running low on food. This could go very poorly. I might just have to fast travel out of here because I don't know if I'm going to make it back on the food supplies I have. I guess you can cook bug meat as well, but the problem is it doesn't fill your hunger. It only fills like a tiny bit of your stamina and some of your health. So I have to rely on finding bird eggs and tail meat. Thankfully, I do have the double harvest upgrade that lets me get twice as much items from basically anything now because I got all of them. And there are birds that will like continually spawn in the 4th layer, so I can find those pretty easily. Tail meat's a bit of a harder thing, but if I can get back to the 3rd layer, it should be pretty easy to find some spots where there's lots of tail meat, so that should be pretty fine too. I'm just gonna maybe have to do a little bit of grinding to get some meat from the 4th layer once I get back there. And thankfully, I'm pretty much just out of the 5th layer by now. Yep, exit is right next to here. Now I can finally be out of this horrible, horrible place. Oh, almost. Ah, that would have ended poorly. I would have lost the rest of my hunger, fallen, and probably taken a lot of fall damage. Okay, last of the food there. Wrap up with some health here. And here we go, Deep Tree Remains. Finally out of the 5th layer. Now I just gotta locate some of those bird dudes. So I think on the way up, I'm gonna go from Eternal Garden, possibly. Let's see. I could probably go Eternal Garden and then go to. Oh, that was so close. I wonder if the Orb Piercer's still here. Yep, he is. Okay. Thankfully, I think the edge of this is just out of range of it, but just to be safe, I'm gonna go down to here. Yeah, he sounds like he's right next to me there, so I'm gonna take the lower route. I do not want to get that orb piercer. Not only is it super strong, it's also really fast. Whew. Okay, up here now. Lots of horn criers, but what I need right now is to get up onto one of these things and find my way back onto the top of this area. This bit's a little bit maze-like. You know, like this. But it just, wait, it won't let me climb around the edge. Alright. Finally back on top. There's some shroom bears, but sadly I don't think I can cook their meat with the ingredients I have. So, turn around this way. Not seeing any of the birds yet. I think I'd have to wait a bit for them to start spawning in, but I don't have time to do that, so I gotta just keep moving. I think it's up. Oh wait, there they are. Ah, come on. Yeah, here we go. Ah, 3 of them, great. And lots of bird eggs, yes, that's exactly what I need. Alright, let's craft. Actually, wait. Oh wait, no, that requires salt, that's right. Let me set this as my main food. Alright, a Garden of Eternal Fortunes. Yep, those spikes down there too. I know some of the areas in the second layer we're going to be going to shortly also have a lot of spikes, and those ones are some of the hardest to spot as well. Okay, so, map. Giant Vine Bridge or Crystal Valley. We got to go to the Giant Vine Bridge one this time. This will be another new area visited, but we're actually going to be taking... I was thinking of taking the long way through Giant Vine Bridge, but there's also floating rocks. I could take the long way through that. There's just one slight problem in that floating rocks is a very long area. Basically, I'll show off what it kind of looks like, but I'm not actually going to go into it because if I go to the map here, you'll start on like the side of this big square room. You ride a platform across to the other side, and then you just have this really long series of beam puzzles and platforming challenges with like one of those light eaters at the end here. And then you just ride another platform across, and it takes you to Crystal Valley. I'm not going to do that right now, though, because I don't have enough hunger to do that. I visited the area, so I was hoping I could, but I did not bring enough ingredients to actually make the food I need. Rookie mistake. Anyway, we're here at Giant Vine Bridge. Let's see. I got floating rocks done. Yep, this is the last of the 4th layer's areas you needed to visit. So, this area is pretty cool. You've got this big ruins section at the other side. That's where you find a lot of the connection points. But then there's this part here. So you have to go across some more of the flat creepers that the 4th layer is most famous for. And it doesn't... Oh, thank you. There's a chance that an orb piercer can spawn right here, and because I hadn't found Nanachi's hideout, which is kind of a secret area that you can use to bypass this, I constantly have to go through this particular spot and like stealth my way past the orb piercer, and there were so many times where I failed to do that. Oh wait, these guys seem to be sugar. Might as well take that. Please. Thank you. Got it. Alright. Whew. Ah, no. Ow. Well, at least it fills up your stamina if you get hit while you're trying to recover it. I am a little worried about this part right here. It's going to require a lot of long climb. Oh. Devious. Whoa, what the? I thought I took him out. Anyway. Normally, you'd go down this way, and you'd put ropes up so you can get down and up really quickly, but... sadly, I did not come down this way, so I've got to climb up the old-fashioned way. I can't rest there. Uh-oh. Let me just wait it out. Please let me have enough stamina to get up to the top. This is going to be close. Almost got it. Phew. Oh, hey, another bird. Will you give me some bird eggs? Oh, almost fell off there. Come on. Every time I attack it, like, cuts out on my hunger. Okay, do I have enough bird eggs to craft a gold egg? Yes. This feels very similar to that time in the second layer where I almost ran out of food. Oh. Gotta be careful in these kinds of areas, the geometry. In this area, the geometry can be a little weird. And there's this one spot where you have to, like, walk across this really thin bit. But otherwise, it's not too bad. Got another long climbing segment right here. Some horn criers who are probably going to be a little annoying about it, but... excuse me. Phew. Looks like I'll have plenty of stamina to get up to the top of here. These bugs don't bother me. Oh, there was a weird glitch that can happen sometimes. I think it happens most in the second layer, in the inverted forest. When you're climbing a rope and you're about to pull yourself up onto land, sometimes those butterflies that come after you can actually knock you off of the rope and make you fall down. But weirdly, you don't take any fall damage after it. You just sort of land on your feet like nothing happened. I don't know if it's still in the game. It might still be. It's really scary and annoying when it happens, though, but also maybe a little funny, but I'd say it's probably more annoying constantly getting knocked down. Almost to the point where I can get some hill meat, which will be a lot better. Sadly, boiled eggs do not heal very much hunger at all, and it feels like I'm starting to lose a lot, so... But, this thing again. That's like a quest item that keeps spawning in this particular area. I'm pretty sure that's not supposed to happen. Now I've got 4 of it, and I can't do anything with it because it's a key item. There's some weird wonkiness in this game sometimes. And there's more of those horrible bug things. Oh, wait, there's no birds here. Oh, no. Oh, okay, yeah. Nope. What? Oh, oops. Ah, phew. That was close. I loaded the wrong file. Okay. You know what? I am almost out of hunger. I definitely need some more food, and I'm not getting up here without getting it. So, it's time to do this the cheese way. Oh, this might take a bit, but I've got to AFK here a little bit and wait for those birds to spawn. This is the only solution I can think of. heck is that horn crier doing? They're just spinning. Whee! Question is, am I still losing hunger? Oh yeah. I definitely am losing hunger just standing here. And those birds aren't showing up, but thankfully once they do start to show up, they show up en masse. Still have a few arrows too. Sadly, if I'm hungry, I can't attack. Ah, yes, I got some bird eggs still. I'll last a little bit longer. This might get a bit boring for a bit, but it's what you gotta do. Is standing around not going to make them appear? Do you actually have to be moving, or what? I don't know how long I have to wait. Uh-oh. Okay, here we go. Please give me 2 bird eggs. Ah, only 1. But now that they're appearing, they should start appearing a lot quicker, which means, yep, here we go, another one. And then eventually I'll start getting 3. I just gotta be very careful because I'm on a bit of a precarious spot. It'll be fine, I'm sure. Actually... There we go, plenty of hatchets. If I get on average 1 egg per bird, so 1 boiled egg for 2 birds, that means I'm healing about 10 hunger per 2 birds, or 5 hunger per bird. So as long as it doesn't take me 5 hunger to kill a bird and get the food, then I should be fine. Yeah, I think this might work. It'll take a bit of grinding, but they're going to start appearing even more frequently too, which could become a bit of a problem, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Hello? Can you please come here? I think he's stuck. That's not promising. Oh well, more bird eggs. Oh wait, he's moving. Come onto the bridge, please. I'm gonna waste my arrows like this, aren't I? How did that not take him out? What is this bird doing? It's not even coming onto the bridge. And now it's just despawned. Okay. Oh, where's the next one? There we go. You are actually cooperating. Thank you. I'm actually starting to recover some hunger. This is gonna take a little while. But at least now I know for... Oh, great. I keep getting stuck over there. If I just move over to here, maybe it'll be better. Oh no! My backpack's full. Sadly, I have no use for this meat because I don't have any salt to cook it with. Nor do I have any use for these bean tokos. Let's see, what else could I discard? Oh, well, of course one of these. These double bell balls are incredibly heavy. Okay, what else? Don't need the saw hatchet. Why the heck do I have 4 of these guns? I do not need those. Oh hey, the scream bow. It's not broken. Strange. Bye! Ow. Oh boy, this is where things are gonna get a little... Not really getting lucky with these ones, but... This is where we start to get the real food. Yes! More! I'm gonna need this because the third layer doesn't have infinite spawns of creatures with food that I can cook. Second layer does, though. Whoa. Okay. I think that might be enough. Not sure. ending. And I ain't complaining. Infinite food source. And once I get to the tail meat in the 3rd layer, it'll be real good. I think that's enough grinding for now. 12 boiled eggs, that's about 120 hunger, which is like a full hunger bar full, and then some. Alright. Gotta go through this area, and then we're back in the 3rd layer. If we can get to the 2nd layer, I think we should be fine, because that has bird spawns too, so we can grind for more food there. But in addition, it's just, you know, not as hard. Though there are some pretty nasty areas we'll have to get through. It's part of this Tour de la Abyss. Don't get too greedy, just wait for the curse to go away. Woo! And then passing up all these relics. I wish I could harvest them, but I really can't. Almost home free. We're about out of the deeper layers. Alright, freezing hot mines. Alright, so this is interesting. In terms of areas left to visit, we've got to get Great Fault, Trap Pirate Ship, Hexagon Pillars, Quadruple Pit, and Rock Slide Hall. All of which, like, most of which are the giant Great Fault areas. Not going to be very fun to go through, but you got to do what you got to do. So, Freezing Hot Mines has an area that leads to Rock Slide Hall. I think we're going to head up that way, and I can probably take the route that I would usually use to get up out of here, but slightly modified to instead change course for the upper 2 areas of this lake. No! Okay. We're gonna try that again. I'm not really sure what happened there. Hello? Okay. That is a really weird effect on the floor. It's like it's moving water, but also not. Gotta be very careful in this area. I think 3rd layer wise, this might be my favorite area in it. Which is crazy because for both the 3rd and 4th layers, like the final areas of each are kind of my favorites. Like this area is weird, but it's got some interesting terrain and it's challenging to get through. Yep. Whoa! Alright, Rock Slide Hall. Let's just jump down here. So I think the way to go... So there should be some areas that have the little, like, rodent creatures that give you tail meat. Oh boy. This is gonna be fun. Yep, this is the Great Fault, alright, and I'm sure it's pretty easy to see why this is one of the hardest layers in the game. Please don't crush me. Oh. Oh, I don't know if those boulders can actually hit you off the edge. I don't want to find out. Let me just wait a bit. Get under this thing. And climb up. And then up onto here, and here we are. Alright. Yeah, this area has a lot of, like, dead end spots, but climb up to here. Sadly, in order to ascend through the third layer, you have to go through these type of areas, and they are... There's the rock. I know it's gonna fall out. Whoa! That was close. Let me try to get over to that one. Doesn't look like there's any rocks falling out. Honestly, if I stayed there, I'm probably going to be more likely to get hit. Here we are. Alright. Got some food. Sorry, little guys. But I really need some food. Sadly, I can't farm for it here because these things don't respawn in this layer. It's just the bugs. Okay, I can push this. It's not going to help me on the way up, but... Let's see. Yeah, what makes these areas doubly precarious is the fact that you've got to worry about pitch black darkness much of the time, too. It's like half of it is climbing along these incredibly precarious climbing segments, and then the other half is just walking through pitch black caves. Okay, got some more food stuff up here. You have to, like, slice your way out. Yeah. Ow, ow, ow. Oh, oh, oh. Excuse me? Please, no. Oh my goodness. Why? Madoka Jax! Oh! Patch myself up. I'm gonna take a bit of fall damage here, but I've gotta... Oh, no! Please, no, please. Okay, this... Wait, I'm stuck. Okay. Run away! Wait. You kidding me? I was already here. Ah. Ah. And I'm almost out of healing items. Oh boy. Oh, the third layer is definitely taking its toll. I thought it'd be easier now that I'm a white whistle, but apparently not. Yeah, those things. Those horrible, terrible flying menaces. Whew. Oh, there's where I need to go. Whoop. Quadruple pit, here we go. Wait, where does this go? Huh. Just another exit. Odd. Oh, quadruple pit. Yeah, I feel like these areas would probably rank fairly low on my tier list. Just because of how frustrating they are. What was the route that I took again? I don't know. No, I don't want to go back to Rockslide Hall. I do know, though, about... Oh, jeez. You! No! Oh, please, nurse, go away. Oh! Course. I'm not even gonna bother going to there. I'm just gonna go. You gotta be kidding me. This is where the actual pain comes in. No. Oh, thank goodness. Phew! Made it to safety. Now I gotta remember where to go here. Oh, okay. And more heals. And more food! Thank you. Oh, please give me the tail meat. Oh boy. Oh. Right. I'm honestly surprised. Like, I thought this area would be easier now that I've got some of the better climbing abilities and stuff, but maybe it's because I just haven't played the game in months. Or maybe it's just because the third layer has always been hard and it always will be hard. So I think this area is a little weird. It's a lot of these types of areas in the third layer are where you've got to just sort of climb around in these dark caves. You can barely see where you're going, but there is, I think, a route through here. You gotta like break it open with your pickaxe, but now if I remember correctly, there are some like packs in here that can give you like gear and stuff, and I think maybe even some good food, but it looks like they're gone now. Maybe they were only a one-time harvest. Yeah, head down here, and just to be safe, I think I'm gonna send up a mail balloon to save, so that way I don't have to start from the beginning of this area if I meet an untimely end. So break through here. And here we are. So there's a mail balloon like right here. What I need to do is need to grab one of the ones that I've already got. Okay, there we go. So I'm just gonna save my game here. It's not right here that I need to get to, right? Yeah. It's over there, I think. Where is it there? And now I'm having a hard time remembering. I think, yeah, I think the way I need to go is in this. Excuse me, get out of the way. Okay. Yeah, this should take me to hexagon pillars. Perfect. Sadly, I can't take the shortcut out. Hexagon pillars does lead to... Maybe I will take the shortcut out and then just head down a bit. Because hexagon pillars also has some kind of annoying parts to get through with some of the caves, but... Ooh, I'm close there. I think this might lead to Trap Pirate Ship. Yep. Okay. Time for more pain and suffering. Let's see. Quadruple pit, rock slide hole, hexagon pillars. Only 2 more areas of the third to go. Man. I actually remember seeing a Mother's Basement video where he was talking about how Made in Abyss would make for a better video game than it would a show. Although I do think once you get to the deeper layers, like, it definitely does do the story part well, though. Like, the story and characters of the Made in Abyss show are pretty crazy. Oh, well that's unfortunate. I need to get rid of this stuff. Okay. But, yeah. It is unfortunate that the actual game isn't as great as it could be. But I think the fact that it's still so fun, even despite its shortcomings, it just goes to show just how good of a game this kind of thing would make. Pulse? Wait. Yes? Can I escape the boat, please? Oh, boy. I am inside the Trap Pirate Ship. I never expected it to be like a weird... Oh no. This is not going well. Where do I go? Can I push this? Oh boy. Okay, I think... Whoa, 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 whoa. Where does this lead? Does this lead me back to I think this just leads back to hexagon pillars. Okay. Exactly. Okay, I've got to put on my thinking cap here and try and figure out. Bug guy there. Well, this isn't good. Maybe I'll just skip this area. Wait, this? Yes, I think I found a new way out. finally. Yeah, I think I know where I am. Let me just put a rope up. This area's got an iconic spot. It's the trapped pirate ship, which is like some kind of pirate ship or airship that's just lodged into the side of the third layer. Like, you got this huge vertical shaft, and then there's just a boat stuck in the side of it. No explanation as to why. Like, I think currently the main theory is that it's some kind of airship that someone tried to fly into the third layer, but because of the heavy winds, it got, like, crashed into the side of it, and it's become, like, petrified into the abyss, but it's really mysterious. I didn't expect it to be a maze on the inside. I don't think that's what I imagined the inside of that place would actually be, but I guess that's the way the game kind of interpreted it, and yeah. The actual cave portion of this is mostly... Oh, it's very dark for one. That's crap. Okay. How much cooked tail meat do I have, anyway? 2. Well, that's not good. At least it heals a bit more than the boiled eggs do, but yeah. Just gonna climb my way up here. Oh no. Okay. Now, which way is out? No. I have... Okay, that doesn't seem like climbable. I think I came up this way? Yeah. Meaning the other way, maybe? This spot's really maze-like. Why is it so dark, too? I don't remember it being quite this dark. Let's see, will this lead me out safely? Maybe? No? Aww. Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, let's see. If I go this way, will this take me up or down? Looks like this is the flat one. It doesn't really... Basically, I think the way this is laid out, there's this central sort of circular area that's got a series of, like, concentric levels that go down, and then a whole bunch of these, like, bridge paths twisting around the outside of it. And it's this huge maze where, like, you can sort of climb up some parts, you can go around some other parts and stuff, but actually finding where you need to go, because it constantly loops back on itself, is a bit of a nightmare. I think this is just a dead end. Yep. I think I saw another way up, though. It might lead me to where I need to go. I've still got a lot more climbing on the outer surface of this place to do, though, so... That's gonna be fun. Some of the worst of it, too. Ow. Okay, I think I'm getting closer? I really don't know. Oh, wait, here we are. Yes. This'll lead out. And more Madoka checks, because of course there are. Okay, where do I need to go? There's a spot up there. I think I need to go up that way. Oh no, no! Okay, I gotta autosave. Oh no. I should have used a save balloon. Oh no, I'm stuck in the pirate ship again. I was gonna die there anyway, though. Okay. Maybe I can find my way out faster this time. Remember correctly, there's a passageway that I need to find. It looks more cave-like. This? Over here, maybe? Yes, perfect. Man. And then there's the whole food problem to worry about, too. At least I might not take up as much hunger now that I kind of know the way out a bit better, maybe? Right up here. Wait for the crystal to tie down. I severely overestimated how quickly I'd be able to get through this. Forgot just how painful the third layer ascending through it is. Getting down through it's actually pretty easy as long as you use the Updraft Wasteland shortcut, but hitting back up is where it really gets you. Tunnel here. Yeah, and then one around here. I'm gonna try to just get through the second layer stuff and the first layer stuff really quickly. First layer stuff should be easy, like that layer is a cakewalk compared to some of this other stuff. Oh, I got out of there without even having to eat the spare tail meat I have, so that's nice. I think there should be some more in the next layer, the next area up. So I can fetch some more food when I get to there. But for now, let me try to see if I can figure out what the pattern here is, because they do follow a specific path whenever they're attacking you. I just have to wait and see where he flies. And then I can know to avoid that spot. I think it's that one up there, maybe. Hello? Are you going to attack? Actually, wait. Oh, I can't because I've triggered an angry guy. Oh, I can't use the mail balloon! No! It doesn't even trigger for a second. That isn't good. Alright, let me heal up a whole lot. By now, those flying guys can't actually kill me in one shot like they used to be able to, so I might be able to just power through. Oh. Hey, you missed me. I can definitely see this being a lot worse if you don't have some of these late game upgrades. Where does this lead? The Great Vault. Perfect. Final area. Almost out of the third. So close. In fact, I think I know where I need to go. I just need to go straight up. And there should be a thing. No way! Oh, hold on. I'm just loading. I'm not even gonna like bother with the death screens. Oh hey, he's too low to get me. Okay. Knew it. I remember there was a thing up here. Yeah. That's the worst. Oh! And it got me anyway. Well, this is the curse of the... Oh, huh. Maybe it's because I'm out of stamina? Wait, am I out of food? Oh, well, I gotta reload anyway because I'm out of food. You could actually see a character standing there for a bit because of the whole hallucinations thing. Oh. Of course, it wasn't the climb that got me. It was the little slope up right afterward. I'm just gonna have to wait here a little bit. They can actually get you if you're standing too close to the edge, so you gotta kind of move in a bit. And here we go. More food. Almost out, but there's still a little bit more to go. got the cooked tail meat. It's only one, but hold on. That'll work here. Alright, and I think it's... Whoa! Okay. Yeah, it's straight up again. Uh-oh. Oh, that was close. Yep. That, I think, was the last climbing section. Or maybe not. There might be one more climbing section. Oh, no, actually, that was it. Huh. Oh, we're home free. Just gonna grab some more food from here. And... we'll be all set. So I did plan on going through Inverted Arbor and trying to climb up there. The one problem with that is that there's a bunch of giant hammerbeaks that are very annoying in that one specific area. So I'm not sure if I'm actually going to go the route of actually climbing up there, or if I'm just going to take the easier route and go over the top. But, yeah. I guess we'll see. It depends on how much food I have by the time I get there. Anyway, back to Heaven's Waterfall. Goodbye, third layer. Phew. Alright. This area is gonna be pretty straightforward. Those frogs are a really great source of hard meat, but because I don't have any more salt, sadly they will not help me at the moment. It's actually kind of crazy. When I first played through this area, I didn't know that the frogs here are actually one of the best food sources in the early game. They're not too hard to take down either, at least at the point I'm at. Alright. Almost there, just a little bit more. Let's see. From here, there is... After this, I've got to go... I'm going to go to the Seeker Camp, then I'm going to hit Edge of the Abyss, and from Edge of... Actually, I'll hit Edge of the Abyss really quickly, but I won't go all the way into it, because I do have to actually go past a pretty tough creature to get to Terminal Pond from there, and I'd rather not risk it, so... I think I will actually go the Inverted Arbor route. But this is Edge of the Abyss, more of the spike things, and particularly in some of the other areas where you've got to go through like some dark logs and stuff, they can be really hard to spot. Ah! Yep, like that. Lots of healing plants though here, which is kind of nice. But yeah, this is supposed to be at the very edge of the inverted forest, or like the inverted top part meets with the ground. There's just this giant jungle all around it, which is kind of neat. Anyway, our goal is instead to go through Seeker Camp again, but this time we've got to get to the Inverted Arbor, which will have to take a slight detour to Hell's Crossing to reach. Let me just mark off this. Yep, just a couple more areas this way. Oh look, one of the birds. Food. You're gonna throw a rock arm. Oh, he missed. I don't know if the rocks that those monkeys throw at you have knockback or not, but I don't want to risk it. Oh, oh, oh! Hey! Ah! Get out of here. Those are the giant hammerbeaks I was talking about, but they're even worse in Inverted Arbor. Anyway, are you going to give me a bird egg? Sweet. Oh, hey. Some cooked tail meat. Well, there. getting there. Oof. Alright, next stop, Hell's Crossing, and then the entrance to Inverted Arbor should be right next door. Whoa, hey, where's my hat? I could do another grind and just wait to get more bird eggs, but that wouldn't be very entertaining at this point. I'll just grab any ones I come across along the way. If I'm lucky, they'll give me 2 bird eggs, and that's like a whole meal right there. Here we are at Inverted Arbor, and you can already see the giant hammer beaks. The whole gist with this area is you've got a lot of these bridges up top. Biggest threat here is probably these bugs, because they can just blow you right off the side of it. But, if you're patient, you can get them before they can get you. Gotta, like, bait them to attack, and deliver a single blow. Alright. So where I want to go right now is right down here. So this isn't too bad of a climb. There's like a lot of ledges and stuff. You don't have to worry about a really long climb to get down here. But you do, however, have to worry about a bunch of giant, hard-headed birds attacking you. Like that. Go by. Ugh. Okay. Jump is doing good. Come on. Cooperate. Alright, we're at the bottom. Oh no, I need to dismantle it before it disappears. Hurry up. Oh, jeez. Alright, Terminal Pond. This area is really nice, though. I think this is one of my favorite areas in this layer. It's just this really pretty pond with a big pole in the middle that you can climb up onto, and you can actually get pretty high up here, too. There's like a lot of cliffs around it. Didn't bring my fishing rod, so I can't grab fish, but I can't even cook the fish meat anyway. Let's see. I do have some more bird eggs, so I've got a couple of that. Almost there. Alright. Just a quick stop at Terminal Pond, though. Now I've got to climb all the way back up. So close. Come out of there so I can do... And just more burger. I actually got to dispose of some of this stuff. I've got way too much of it. And there's nothing I can do with it at the moment. Whoa, 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 too fast, too fast. Oh. Oh. Okay, they're gonna start attacking me, so I need to just start cooking it. I think I might be out of their range. Not sure, though. Alright, this is gonna be tricky. What? Onto it. Oh, wait. Might be a way around. This isn't good. I think I found my way on. This is going to be a little tricky. I'm going to take a bit of fall damage, but do what you got to do. I think this one is safer. Oh! Ow! That really hurt. Didn't expect it to hit that much. And I just gotta heal a bit. I think that over there is my goal. Wait. That's where I need to go, right? Yes, perfect. Corpse Sweeper Den. Do I have any food? Oh, yes. Enough for one boiled egg. There is... Thankfully, if I can just get to the bottom part of the first layer, there's actually some easy-to-get food right in that area without having to go through... Oh, boy. I'm just going to wait here for a second. Oh. Oh. Alright. Getting a lot of bird eggs, that's nice. Watch out for those guys, I think they can sap your stamina. Yep, I think I'll be good for the first layer. Once I get there, there's like plenty of food. The first layer has like these trees that grow these apples on them that are just free food sitting there. Which kind of makes sense because it's supposed to be the easiest layer, so getting food isn't a huge deal there. It's honestly just a breeze. There's still 4 more areas to visit, but shouldn't be too hard to just knock those out one after the other. There's a corpse sweeper. Those guys are real nasty. They'll mimic the cries for help of their prey just to lure in more to get. It's kind of messed up, but still not really much compared to some of the deeper monsters. But I think that's one of the first real, like, dangerous monsters you get to see in the show. Definitely one of the first ones in this game that really, like, you have to worry about, I think. There are the spiders in the first layer, but those guys aren't too bad, as long as you're careful. Watch out for more of those spike traps. Some of them can be really hard to see. Like, look at this one. Ow. Alright, I think the apple tree should be right up here. Oh. Where was it? Yes, there it is. Oh. Weirdly, these Higui fruits are really heavy too. They're like 150 grams, which I'm honestly a little surprised at. Okay. They don't heal that much hunger, but they're pretty much just a free handout, so I'll definitely be taking that. Sadly, no fast travel, so let's see. Now, I could climb all the way up to the jumping rock one and go to Jumping Rock, but the problem is that would put me out, I think, on the other end of a spot where a really powerful monster spawns, so instead I'm going to head to Stone Arc since we haven't gone there yet either. I think that should be over this way. Yep, right here. Interestingly enough, this is basically a very similar concept area to the one in the 3rd layer, but this ship that's caught in the side of the abyss doesn't have a maze, it's just empty. I think we're on the lower end of it. Ah. Well, that sucks. I'm not going to restart, though. We're in the easy part now. I was watching someone stream this game, and they hated the weasels every time they came out and attacked you, but honestly, they're nothing compared to some of the creatures in the deeper layers that are there. This game has a weird mechanic where the longer you spend in an area, the more like low-level creatures will just continually spawn to mess with you, and Yeah, it can get kind of annoying sometimes. I think if you use one of the... There's a specific item. I think it's like the torch or something. And if you use it, it can stop them from spawning. But I've never really made use of it because most of the time they're just a mild annoyance, and as long as you're paying attention, they can be dealt with accordingly. Plus, when you get to the 5th layer, the jellyfish aren't even actively trying to get you, so... Alright. Just gotta climb way up here. I think this area might lead to Jumping Rock anyway. I'll just quickly pop into there if it does. Oh, more food. Ow. What sucks is when you get caught in a combo and you can't get out of it, and you just keep swinging around it midair. Creature trying to get like right in front of you, but you're not hitting him. I'm just gonna go over this way. Yep, Jumping Rock. This area is pretty cool, honestly. Most of the first layer areas look very similar to one another. This one at least has the advantage of being very high vertically. Oh yeah, you can see him down there. Careful not to fall. Man, the telescope doesn't show it, but you can see him, that crimson split jaw right there. Those creatures are supposed to be native to the 3rd layer, but they can also appear in the 1st and 2nd, and in fact, I think there's like one of them in each of the first 3 layers that you can fight, and I've never actually gone for it, because I don't know if I really want to fight one of those things. Okay, where to next? Grand Bridge Way sounds like a good one. We haven't hit that area yet, so those 2 have been done. Stone Arc, Jumping Rock. Yep, it's just Grand Bridge Way and Twin Falls. Sadly, Twin Falls does connect to the first area of the first layer, but you need to have gone downwards first because it requires you to have a rope set up if you want to get back up that way. There's some spots like that where you can, like, they only work one way. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Come on. Get unstuck. Get unstuck. Get unstuck. Ow. Oh. This spot, I think the main terrain gimmick here is lots of, like, bridges and stuff like that, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna head up, and if I'm correct, then there should be... Oh, there's a Twin Falls entrance there, and then a waterfall gondola entrance there. So we're gonna head to the Twin Falls entrance first, which requires moving over this way. Man, one moment we're at like 13,000 meters underground, and now it's like just under 300. Alright, just cross the bridge here. Gonna set up a rope. Can't actually get up this way if you just... Ow! Jeez! There's actually some interesting lore behind the hammer beaks in that they're supposed to be like really useful creatures because not only can you use them for meat, but like the hammer things on their heads can be used to like start a fire, meaning if you manage to hunt one of them, they're basically just a whole meal in one that can also be used to like cook the meal too. I think I heard that one. Getting up that way. Well, I remember this area. I think I fell to my death here once. Anyway, I think that just about does it. Stone Arc is done. Twin Falls, Grand Bridge Way. Yep. Every area has been visited. Now it's just a matter of getting back to the top, which honestly should be pretty simple. Whoa. Hammer beaks are super aggressive. I do think, I've always wondered if like an MMO made in Abyss game would be cool, where everyone is a cave raider, you can all like explore the Abyss together. But also because a multiplayer made in Abyss game kind of sounds like it'd be funny. I don't know why, just the image of people goofing around in the Abyss, running around as this whole band of individuals, and then suddenly a giant monster shows up and everyone starts freaking out and scrambling around and stuff. It sounds like it could be make for a pretty fun multiplayer experience. Just going on like a group cave raid with all your friends, and then suddenly everything goes wrong. Okay. Almost home free. Let me just take a quick snack. And now we're back in the first layer of the game. I mean, the first area of the game, Netherworld Gate. Ow. Yeah. Definitely seems like it could be. I'm actually kind of wondering if there's people out there who could start modding the game and potentially add a multiplayer mod, because I know people have done it for like Super Mario Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. People have made multiplayer mods that you play like multiplayer mini games and stuff in them. So I feel like a multiplayer mod for this game could be really fun. I know they did it for Subnautica, and that looks like something really cool. I wish I could check it out sometime, but alright, here we are. Hup, thank you all for joining me on this. Once we're done here, it'll be time to go onto Minecraft for a little bit and do a tier list of the areas. I'll try to make it quick though, because... Oh hey, I completed a quest for one of the dudes in the... Oh wait, no, this is not the right room. Where do I need to go? Here we go. What? Huh. That's odd. It says I've got 2 quests complete, but I'll worry about that later. For now, that just about does it for this dive into the abyss. Got a lot of crazy stuff. I'm not even going to bother sorting that right now. Let me save. Stream's going to go dark for a second while I switch over to Minecraft. Just going to boot up my creative world. I've got a tier list board already set up in there. Alright. Alright, here we are. It's tier list time. So I'm going to go through each of these in order of the layers and try to be very quick about placing these, because there's a lot of areas to go through. So starting with Netherworld Gate, I'd say Netherworld Gate. I'm debating between B and A tier, because I think it's a pretty great opening area. There's like smaller ledges that lead you down to one end, or there's like a shortcut path you can take if you climb down this one really long section of cliff. But then there's an alternate path you can take. Oh wait, need to turn off the music. There's an alternate path that you can take that gets you to a different area. It's a one-way route. Like, you have to go down through this Netherworld Gates route side of it first, because you got to throw down a rope. But it's a nice starter area. I think I'll give it a B tier. There's nothing really crazy going on there, but it's a nice enough area to start off the game with. So that's Netherworld Gate done. Waterfall Gondola as well. It's got some interesting stuff, but it's pretty basic. I'll put it at C. Not the craziest area, but it gets the job done. Tree Fossil Abode, though, I'll also give that a B tier as well, I think. Again, most of the first layer areas are going to be kind of in the middle, but a lot of them are very similar to one another, especially in terms of their like visual aesthetic and color palette. Tree Fossil Abode does have a slightly different look to it because of all of the fossilized trees all around you, but episode. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Grand Bridgeway, I'll also put that at C. Not really much going on there. The bridges are kind of neat, but otherwise... And I think the same goes for Twin Falls. Both of those are pretty standard areas. Stone Arc has the Stone Arc, which makes it slightly more interesting. I think the giant crab fight that oftentimes one of the first layer's variants of the giant crab enemies can spawn in there, and the fact that it has a bit of a unique element to it with the Stone Arc, I think elevates it a little bit. And Jumping Rock as well I'm putting here, just because it also has the Jumping Rock, which is this giant rock teetering like a big seesaw that you can go over. It's also surprisingly tall too, and it's that layer just has, that particular area has a lot of verticality to it, which is kind of neat. I always love verticality in game areas. Ever since I was young, I've loved like areas that have a lot of like cool little ledges and stuff, and different like vertical areas and bits that like go under other areas and stuff, and snaking around and just having interesting terrain and level layouts. Wind Riding Windmills, honestly, a D tier for me, because you can't actually go into the Wind Riding Windmills. When I first saw it, I thought you might actually be able to, but they're just a scenery thing, and it's a really small area. The only other interesting terrain feature is there's this like muddy water pond that's kind of a back area that you have to follow a back route to get to, but otherwise it's pretty standard. Which does kind of stink, because the Wind Riding Windmills are kind of a cool landmark. And then finally Multi-Layer Hill, which honestly I'm just going to put at C as well. It has some interesting stuff. It has some of the spike traps that appear in different spots, but otherwise, it's pretty standard, all things considered. Which goes on to the second layer, which I'm going to use a different color sign for. So, starting with the Forest of Temptation, honestly, it's a pretty standard area, not too much going on, but it does have a unique visual aesthetic to it. And I like the fact that all the roots and stuff give you a false sense of security of like, oh, this area is pretty flat. I don't have to worry about the curse here. But in fact, because you're constantly moving up and down in little increments as you run across all those like roots and stuff, it actually will slowly accumulate curse. So if you're not paying attention, it can get you. So I think that's a kind of an interesting aspect of it. Otherwise, though, there isn't really much there. So yeah, I think I'll do B tier, just because it's fairly small. Interestingly, with the exception of the first layer, all the layers in this game, the first area of them is named after the overall layer's name. Like, because the first layer is Edge of the Abyss, then it goes Forest of Temptation, Great Fault, Goblets of Giants, and then Sea of Corpses. And then beyond that is 6th layer, Capital of the Unreturned, and 7th layer, Final Maelstrom, which still very excited to see what that looks like. This story is definitely very heavily inspired by Dante's Inferno, that's for sure. Let's see, Corpse Sweeper Den. I'll also put Corpse Sweeper Den in B tier. It looks very similar to some of the first area layers, but it does have some elements of Forest of Temptation in it. It's a little bit greener, and some of the cool tree stuff at the end is actually pretty nice as well, but otherwise, it doesn't do too much for me personally, and I have some bad memories of one of my dives down there that almost went south. A lot of B tiers right now, but some of the cooler areas are coming up. Inverted Forest, honestly, also B tier. Well, I don't know. I think Hell's Crossing would probably be A tier, and it's a better version of Inverted Forest, so I'll put Hell's Crossing over here. Because that one, it's like Inverted Forest, but it has a bit more variety. You're not just like, go down a rope, climb back up, go down a rope, climb back up. It has like some climbing sections, some jumping sections, and then it's got the huge like root thing that goes underneath everything that you can actually climb down to, which I think is really cool. Having this like big sort of scenery element that you can actually go down into. Inverted Arbor is neat, but I'm putting it it's got a nice layout to it, and I think the idea of this giant inverted tree that you can go down to is cool, but I'm docking it points because the hammer beaks there are really annoying. That said, let's see, Seeker Camp, also B tier, just because the Seeker Camp itself is neat, but the area itself doesn't really have much of anything going on. In fact, actually, I'm going to put it at C tier, because if you're judging it by the area and not like the camp itself, it's pretty barren, honestly. Terminal Pond, though. Honestly, Terminal Pond to me seems like an S tier. It's just got a really cool visual aesthetic with that glowing purple pond in the middle and all the little areas you can climb up to, and it's like, it's totally game original, and it's kind of out of the way. You don't really need to go there during the game, but it's a really nice place when you find it. Edge of the Abyss. I think I'll give it a B tier too. Honestly, I think most of these areas are going to be B tier. I'd not usually want to have super strong opinions on things, but a lot of these areas are going to be B tier if they like get the job done, but they don't have too much that's like super standouty about them. Heaven's Waterfall as well. I'll give it points because the gentle slope is like slightly misleading in that it can still get you with the curse, and there's some cool stuff like the secret entrance to Updraft Wasteland. But honestly, Updraft Wasteland I think is even better. Just the vibes of it with all the lightning shooting down everywhere and the water spraying up from the bottom, and the fact that it's like this totally separate area you might not even find on your first run through because it's like a secret area and it acts as like a shortcut deep into the third layer. It was really helpful when I was actually playing through the story at that point. Yeah, this is actually my first time ever doing a tier list, so a little new to me. Let's see. Great Fault. Okay, this, yeah. Most of these are probably gonna go. Okay, so Great Fault, it gets the point across. I'll actually give it points because the opening of it, when you first enter the third layer for the first time, and like you hear this soft music playing as you're in this dark claustrophobic cave, you go through it, and then suddenly, bam, like you get to see the actual, like, vertical shaft of the third layer right before you, spreading out, like just the bright light contrasting with the darkness. I think that opening portion helps it. But yeah, a lot of these areas are probably going to be in the D tier because for me personally, they are pain and suffering to get through. Like Trapped Pirate Ship, as you saw earlier, is a nightmare darkness maze, and Quadruple Pit as well has a similar problem. Oh yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like I'd probably have done that too, but I'm kind of doing this a bit off the cuff. Let's see. Making rules does sound like it could help, but I don't know if I have time for that in this stream. Let's see. Quadruple Pit. Yeah, that's D tier. And Rock Slide Hall. Honestly, like, I do think they're not, like, bad in the sense that because they're hard. I think the difficulty of them is nice. Yeah, like, for Maiden Abyss, it is intended. I think it's a little weird that the third layer is the hardest since it's supposed to get harder with each progressive one, and these areas definitely are what makes it so hard. And I do think it's cool having the contrast of the super dark caves to the super bright, empty, actual Great Fault. But the fact that you've got the Madoka Jacks constantly hounding you, and the fact that when you first play through this segment, they will kill you in one hit, which is particularly cruel, and just how it's so easy to get lost in those caves too. Like, they're not very fun to play through. Let's see, Trapped Pirate Ship. I'll put Hexagon Pillars at B. It actually has some variety in the area itself, because the Hexagon Pillars portion of it is only one part, There's like some darker caves, and it even has some unique creatures you can run into and stuff. It's also a really great spot for farming the mountain spinners of like different varieties. I think particularly the generic type and the icy type. There's some quests that require you to kill a lot of them, and Hexagon Pillars is one of the best spots for like the icy mountain spinners and the regular ones. Cold Heat Layer. Cold Heat Layer is pretty cool. I'll put it at A tier. I think the Cold Heat Layer and Freezing Hot Mines, they're very bizarre in how they're made, but I kind of like it. It's very unique, and they definitely feel like very Zelda dungeony, particularly Cold Heat Layer, but I kind of vibe with it. It's pretty neat. Let's see. Plus, that's like acts as a really nice shortcut through the third layer as well, since you can just go straight to it from Updraft Wasteland. And then Glass Layer as well, I'm putting it A, because it also has a unique aesthetic. Just the cool idea of this big pit where you're like spiraling down the side of it. There's some spots that I still don't fully know how to get through yet, but there's also a Crimson Splitjaw den in there where you can fight one of those guys, but interestingly, you can actually take it out without fighting it, because if you like climb up to the back, there's like an upper portion where you can break the ice and cause the roof to fall down, and it's how you actually get through there into whatever exits through there. But I haven't actually done it myself, mostly because I really have never wanted to get anywhere close to those giant horrifying creatures. But yeah, that one's pretty good. And then Freezing Hot Mines, also one of my favorite areas. Really tough, and if you're not careful, I have died multiple times falling off of the very slim platforms there, but just the visuals of it, the weird Super Mario Galaxy-esque portion at the very end, and the cool opening bit where you're like running through the hot springs and like have to constantly crawl through these little tight spaces and go down and in and out of the water and stuff. It's got a lot of variety, and it's really nice area. So, oh, whoops, I actually did those with the same color sign as the second layer. I can change that later. Let's see, that one will be used for the third layer, so I'll use this one for fourth layer. Fourth layer, Goblets of Giants. It changes its appearance. Like, I think it's random right now, but earlier in the game, like, if there was a side quest there, it would have this one specific appearance that I got really used to. But then there was, like, a totally different version of it that I'd sometimes come across. I'm like, what the heck went on here? It's pretty basic, but it gets the job done. There's some weird carryover from the third layer. It still uses the same music track and has the same bug creatures that the previous area in the third layer did, which is a little odd, but I don't know. I'm thinking there's so much in B tier. I'm going to put it in A tier. Plus it has a water slide, and that's kind of cool. It's the only area that has that. So you go there. Nanachi's hideout is a really nice spot. You can see Nanachi, you can go to the gardens. It's very peaceful, and it's a great shortcut to the deeper parts of the fourth layer. Sadly, I never found it. And I guess this is technically spoilers for the game, but the way you unlock that area is you have to die of fall damage in Goblets of Giants, and then Nanachi rescues you just that once. And that's how you unlock it. But because I never died of fall damage throughout my entire playthrough of the game in that specific area, I never found it and had to look up how to find it. So, honestly, just because it takes that much to get it, I'll put it at B tier. There isn't really much going on there anyway, but I'm still a little salty about that. I can't believe that's how you actually unlock the area. It would have been so helpful earlier in the game, so I don't have to sneak by that orb piercer every single time. Hidden Hot Spring is pretty nice. It is very small, though, so I think I'll put it at B tier, too. Actually, yeah, I'll put it at C tier. It's really tiny, and while it's a nice area, there's not really much going on there. Let's see. Giant Vine Bridge. Honestly, as much as I hate the fact that there can be an orb piercer that spawns like on a mandatory portion of the route through that area, I kind of like it in the fact that it does add some challenge to the fourth layer, which otherwise doesn't have too much craziness going on. So I will give it points for that. And like, it's kind of just, I think it's it's on par with Goblets of Giants, basically. There's enough interesting stuff. There's some side paths you can take. So, and the ruins section's kind of cool. All the ruins in the fourth layer were like totally game original. They never had that in the actual show or manga. It's just from the game. I don't know what the heck the deal with them is, but it's kind of neat. Floating rocks. Honestly, I think floating rocks in Crystal Valley, B tier is getting pretty heavy right now, so I'm debating putting both of them in A tier. Both of them are pretty similar in that they're also very Zelda dungeony, especially floating rocks. It's just this linear path that takes you through a whole bunch of like beam puzzles and timing things, but it's an interesting change of pace from the other areas, so I didn't get to show it in the actual playthrough, sadly, but it is a very neat area, I think, that diverges a bit. And then Crystal Valley, honestly, I'm putting it up at S tier. Just the cool puzzle that you can get to take out the Light Eater, mixed with just the cool vibes of like having this narrow crevice that then opens into this vast open area way down below that you can kind of see from the top of it too. I think that makes it really cool in my eyes. Honestly, as much as it pains me, I think Eternal Fortunes has to go to D tier just because it's a bit of a letdown compared to what it is in the source material. Like, if we got what was in the source material, it would have been one of the most beautiful areas in the game, but instead it's kind of just like Hidden Hot Spring, and because there's so little really there, I'm putting it in D tier just because it's not very great compared to what the source material was like. Like, this could be an S tier area if it was adapted more faithfully. Still, it gets the job done, but it was just a little disappointing. Deep True Remains, though, honestly, I'm debating. I really like it. I don't know if I should put it S tier or A tier, though. I'll put it S tier. I need more S tiers up here. I think it's got a really nice vibe compared to the rest of the layer. The cool ruins portion at the middle that has like all the under bits and the over bits is really nice. Lots of areas. You can get a little lost in there, but it's not too bad since it's not like the third layer areas where it's so pitch dark you can't see anything. And that brings us on to the final bit, which is Layer 5, Sea of Corpses. So this one's going to be interesting. Sea of Corpses 1 and 2 are fairly similar, but... And honestly, I'll probably put them in the same tier. Both of them are pretty nice. You've got a lot of these like really tall snowdrifts, and normally going over those would take a while because you gotta like wait for the curse to die down. But there are a few like crevices in the snowdrifts that don't go as high, and you can kind of use those as routes to get through there a lot easier instead of just going over the top of them. Otherwise, they're pretty empty, but... Oh, whoops. They're pretty empty, but I think they have a nice atmosphere to them. Sea of Corpses 1 has this giant stone spire that you can climb up to the top of to get some good loot. And then number 2 has that giant Field of Eternal Fortunes patch at the very end. So I think I'll give them both A tier. Sea of Corpses 1. And Sea of Corpses 2. Okay, Eternal Garden. I do think there's some interesting stuff there with the beam stuff, but I never fully understood it, so I'm putting it down here. It just kind of feels like a cave version of Eternal Fortunes. Water crystals, though. Those areas are genuinely really hard and nerve-wracking, but I think they do it pretty well. They're also slightly randomized, too, every time you go into them. There's certain bridges and pathways that are randomly open and closed. It can be a little frustrating trying to navigate through them, but I think it makes up for it, and they're like some of the only areas in the 5th layer that are like genuinely really challenging. So I'm putting both of those in A tier too, because they're both very similar. It's effectively like having one big area that's just split in half. Let's see. Hail Jail I'll put in B tier. And then the 2 Sandy Ice areas in C, because the Sandy Ice areas in Hail Jail are pretty basic. There's really not much going on there. It's cool that you can get attacked by the stinger heads, I think is what they're called, the giant scorpion things if you're not careful. So you do have to be a little careful, but once you've memorized where those things are, they're not that big of a threat. And all three of these areas are just very samey, so Hail Gel gets a bonus because it's got the unique hail weather going on, but the other two are pretty basic. Not 3, 2. And that just leaves, let's see, Ido Front and Ido Front area. Also both two very similar areas. They're kind of that pair. Honestly, they look pretty cool. And I like the fact that there's all these little fissures in the ground that you could fall in if you're not paying attention to. So you do have to be a little careful running through that area. Another area that gives you sort of a false sense of security with how flat and open it is. But in reality, if you're just running through there, you could slip and fall to your doom. So you got to be kind of careful. So I'm going to give them both an A tier as well. And then I don't think I can rank Ido Front Interior and Ido Front. Ido Front Interior and the Altar, because they're not really areas per se. They're areas on the map, but really they're just interior areas that don't even really have much. Like the Altar is where you have is just the final boss arena, and Ido Front area is like the second to last final boss. Interior is second to last final boss arena. So not really much going on there. So in total, the S tiers are Terminal Pond, Freezing Hot Mines, Crystal Valley, and Deep Tree Remains. In A tier, we've got Hell's Crossing, Updraft Wasteland, Cold Heat Lair, Glass Lair, Goblets of Giants, Giant Vine Bridge, Floating Rocks, Sea of Corpses 1 and 2, Water Crystals 1 and 2, Ido Front area, and Ido Front. A lot of the 5th layer areas in there. In B tier, there's Netherworld Gate, Tree Fossil Abode, Stone Arc, Jumping Rock, Forest of Temptation, Corpse Sleeper Den, Inverted Forest, Inverted Arbor, Edge of the Abyss, Heaven's Waterfall, Hexagon Pillars, Nanachi's Hideout, and Hail Jail. C tier has Waterfall Gondola, Grand Bridgeway, Twin Falls, Multi-Layer Hill, Secret Camp, The Great Fault, Hidden Hot Spring, Eternal Garden, Sandy Ice Areas 1 and 2. And then finally, D tier has Wind Riding Windmill, Trap Pirate Ship, Quadruple Pit, Rock Slide Hill, and Eternal Fortunes. So yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing where they all line up. I'm going to have to fix the signs for 3rd layer so that way they're a different color. In fact, let me do that right now just to get a better visual of all of this. Let's see. Because I'm curious to see how all of the layers sort of stack up to one another. Those are all 2nd layer. All right. So they're all sorted by layer. 1st layer is mostly in the middle. Actually, no. 1st layer is, yeah, pretty much entirely just in the middle. 2nd layer has a few good areas, and then mostly just middling ones. 3rd layer, a few good areas as well, but lots of not so great ones. 4th layer has, just a few areas in the lower tiers, but mostly pretty high tier areas. And then the 5th layer has a lot of like A tiers and then a fair few C tiers, basically, with 1B. So it's pretty scattered everywhere. Anyway, that was pretty fun. Thank you for watching my stream and sticking with me that long. I'm probably not going to do this suit too often, but I'm glad I've been able to figure out how to get it to work, so now maybe I could do some other stuff. I do have some other ideas, like doing some streams on my Minecraft SMP, and maybe also streaming KO Round 2. I got that off the Epic Game Store a little while back for like $1 and thought, this could be fun to stream. So I might do those sometime in the future, but for now, this has been the big Made in Abyss Binary Star Falling into Darkness stream. Thanks for watching all the way through, and I will be seeing you all later. Bye-bye.